woke news. Of course, 4 o'clock when you What You Do That's New. On Tuesdays, we'll go over Jack's choice of the album Pretty Hate Machine by 9 Inch Nails. We also have trivia, Ross thoughts, your calls and texts, and talkbacks all day long. Welcome to the program. I am Jim. To my left, my lovely and very dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Straight ahead producer, Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
Comedy alien, Ross Padgett.
What is up, Jim?
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Find us easily on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at The Jim Colbert Show. On Twitter, it's just at Jim Colbert Show. And, of course, all day, every day, online, where all the podcasts live and all the fun stuff at JimColbertLive.com. Well, how was everybody's weekend, man? A big, long weekend. We took a surprise day off on Friday. And by surprise, which means I called Jack at Tuesday and said, I don't want to work Friday. And then Jack, on the cusp of a vacation, has to stop what he's doing and figure out a best stuff for Friday. Because I am a dick sometimes.
Sometimes.
All the time. No, I was cognizant of calling Jack and telling him that, partially for fun.
Yeah.
But I was like, nah, we're going to do a 4-day weekend this Friday. So appreciate you guys' patience and listening to some best stuff. I'm sure Jack puts together a wonderful program.
It was a lot of fun. There's a reason we call it best.
That's right.
Yeah. Tim Skolbert's return.
Right.
Oh, good.
Big Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, I have to tell you, this was the least impact Memorial Day weekend I think I ever remember having. I did not have one plan outside of hanging out with some family and friends down in Sanford a couple nights, and that was pretty much it.
You just pile out?
Just piled out, dog. Played some golf.
I did as well.
Had some fun there, and, just kind of chilled. It was great. Great weekend. Needed it. Every minute of it.
I know Fringe took place this weekend. Ross, you had your Tonight at Midnight.
Yeah, I did the late night talk show. I did a comedy show Saturday night. Went golfing on Sunday. And then yesterday, just had a hoot and a holler time. Just eating burgers, dogs,
I'll get fat again, dog.
Modelo.
Get fat again, dog. I want to see you so big at your wedding. Just button-popping craziness. I love it.
Not going to see it. There's a bunch of donuts out there, and I really want one. In fact, I just looked up the calories of said donut.
It is a lot.
I don't like it. The donuts are so good.
What'd you do this weekend?
Let's talk about NaomiBradshaw.com. We'll get to mine. Having to roll over and look at my fiance most of the week, and I go, I am not an animal, because my face was so swollen. But
well, you're gonna have to listen.
Shut
I took.
I'm gonna kill you before the year's out.
So I typically will use vacation time and notoriously not go anywhere, and you make fun of me.
Right.
I didn't go anywhere per se.
Well, you did. You went to one place 8 times.
So I did. I went to places. So I don't know. You call that a staycation? I had the best 5 days, 6 days, whatever. My sister came into town. We went to Fringe. She came in for my wife's show, Gone by NaomiBradshaw.com. My wife ended up doing 8 performances of her show because she earned the patron's pick for her venue, which she got to do a bonus show yesterday. So we were there for that, and it was I'm so proud of the work she's done.
She did a very good job.
She's talked about it on this show every month in the Tracing Trauma segment as it led up, and something she was determined to conquer, and she did do that. Plus won an award, a Critics' Choice Award for Best Original Score for her music.
I'd say it was a pretty good debut.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was just so proud, so proud.
We went to the Wednesday, or the last show, which was Sunday night.
Sunday.
And Maxwell was there.
Yeah.
Had your Wednesday and Sundays confused with?
It's been a long weekend. I drank a little bit.
On Thursday, I could have sworn it was Saturday, but just because the way it's been going around.
I walked over to Brandon today to talk to him about the sports segment we did yesterday. I'm completely bad. I'm an hour behind.
In the past 6 days, 23 Fringe shows. My sister and I went to the Yankee game in Tampa. Thanks to you guys for my birthday present.
Yay.
They won that game.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
They won that game. And it was I was sitting in the out. I was feet away from Aaron Judge and Joey Gallo in the outfield. These guys are monsters out there.
Hey, the tickets were good?
Yeah, they were great.
Right on, dude.
Awesome.
They were great.
I got to tell you, you point at that stadium, they make the stadium look like, oh, it's going to be sitting right on top of the action. You get there, and you're outside the stadium. You have to climb up a pole.
The only thing on top was the guy sitting next to me was on top of me because sweet guy, weighed 350 pounds.
Oh, yeah. Big,
that Jim chose that seat.
Yeah. There was no way for him not to
squeeze a little.
Yeah. And so, but he went and stood for a while, and he was very, nice about it.
Yeah.
Yankees won, and then a surprise to my sister. She didn't even know as we were walking up to the Camping World Stadium.
You brought her a $24 bill?
Saturday night, she starts seeing signs, and she goes, "Are we going to see a Beatle?" I go, "We're going to see Paul McCartney."
Oh, man.
We were there for the Paul McCartnney show, and it was absolutely incredible.
He played like 3.5 hours or something, right?
It was 2 hours and 35 minutes.
God, it's
but
insane.
It was.
The guy's like 90 years old.
He's 79 years old.
He just
Talk about getting your ticket
blows
value.
it out at 80. That dude is still hammering it at 80.
It was amazing.
Yeah, those guys have no access to medical care. We don't.
Yeah, it was absolutely.
It's all the same.
Amazing.
It's all the same medical
Did
care,
your
guys.
sister lose her mind?
Yeah, she did. It was just incredible.
Very
so
cool.
Between that, the success of Naomi's show at Fringe, and all the good wishes, and the positive response of everyone who went to see the show.
Yeah.
And thank you to everyone who went and supported Naomi in the show. It means so much, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
It was great because afterwards I got to go out with with Maxwell and his wife. My God Almighty, you better buckle up when you go out with those two.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Did they put you under the table?
Don't let the titles fool you. The Maxwells come prepared. I'll tell you about that later off the air. My God Almighty, keep your clothes on, Scott.
In the world?
So what happened to you?
Just went to bed Friday night. Because if you're gonna get sick,
I knew something was wrong when you walked in today. You walked in, and I was having some lunch, and usually she's very effervescent, bouncing on the high. What's up, Big Daddy? How you doing? Blah 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 blah. I hadn't seen each other in 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, but flag on the. She doesn't call you Big Daddy. You call him Big Daddy.
It's a work thing.
It's a myriad of nicknames.
Right. It could be anything.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah, it could be a lot of things.
Big Daddy.
But she didn't say it with that usual zest, so I knew something was wrong. I thought I'd said something, of course, because that's usually the reason.
All right, I'll do my best to gloss over the whole Big Daddy thing. That's news to me and to everybody.
Deb, come on, Big Daddy's listening.
Oh, what?
I got my Big Daddy ears on. Come back. Breaker.
Yeah, so dental stuff this weekend. Because, of course, if you're going to get sick, it's important to do it over a long holiday weekend that you've been looking forward to for, I don't know, since Easter, since about April.
Going into this weekend, Deborah actually is the one who goes, are we taking Friday off? It was a very good ploy, by the way. Great move. I remember. You ask a question you want to have happen.
Yeah.
Hey, are we taking Friday off? And you know what? I never thought about that. You know what? Let's take Friday off. And then that day is the Fridays when it started to hurt.
Well, actually, it was Saturday morning I woke up. So Friday night, and I know, does anyone clench their teeth when they sleep?
Yeah, I have a mouthpiece for it.
Okay, I used to, and I cracked it because I clenched down so hard that I broke a piece of it off.
Oh, man.
And I used to think that you could just file it down.
You cannot do that.
You cannot do that.
It will chew you apart.
It really does. And damn it, the orthodontist had said, hang on to these molds. This is the expensive part.
Yes.
The molds.
Yes.
Well, a couple of moves later, you don't ever think you're going to need another TMJ guard, so you throw them away. And then you fast forward a couple of years, and I'm starting to clench my teeth again really bad when I sleep. And Friday night, I knew it as soon as I woke up Saturday morning. My face was still on the pillow. And again, poor Chris. Every morning it was, I am not an animal.
Right.
Please love me, because it was frightful.
It's like
it was frightful.
I'd be cutting some eye holes.
Oh my God! You could still see a little bit of the swelling. Seriously, I was the triple bagger. I needed a fourth bag to throw up in case I caught sight of myself. It was horrible.
I cut you 2 eye holes and a smoking hole.
Oh, you can't do that.
You get yourself
You
on
cannot
fire.
do that. You find out all these things you can't do when you have that kind of swelling in your mouth.
You can't smoke?
It's very difficult.
Ooh.
It's very difficult.
You have to snort it?
Yeah,
which is interesting
to the face.
Because when I had met with an oral surgeon and they had talked about, listen, when you have this work done, you cannot smoke because it will...
Any sucking action, right?
Exactly. And so it turned out that even smoking, eating, putting on mascara, you guys.
Wow.
Because you watch your wives, right, when they put their mascara on.
They
You
stretch-
open your
right,
mouth
right,
so
right,
that
right.
you stretch out your eyes so you can get to your eyelashes. I can't open my mouth much. I mean, a soup spoon has been all about I've been able to manage this weekend.
Wow.
And that's from you clenching your
It's
teeth.
clenching, and then I believe there's an abscess tooth up there.
So what happens is actually what you do is you grind your teeth and you crack them. And that's a pretty common thing that happens, that you will crack your teeth while grinding your teeth while you sleep.
Yeah.
And that crack may be okay if you're younger. Well, eventually, if something gets in there and infects it, it'll turn into an abscess. And that is true pain.
And that you can still see a little bit of the swelling on my face if you see me.
That is true mind-numbing pain. An abscess tooth is like one of the worst. It's just an aching, gnawing pain.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good.
So that was my weekend.
Well, the only thing I did of value really this weekend outside of just chill around my house was I did join an amateur golf tour here in town, just to play against play against other players like
Ross.
Well, no, it would be good players.
I shot 80 Sunday.
Okay, so that's adorable. But anyway, you play against players that are like your skill level, which I kind of want to do because all my buddies like playing golf, but they don't like scoring. They just how many Bud Lights can you squeeze drinking in 4 hours? So I entered my very first tournament, played out in Daytona at the LPGA. I've never played there. All the years I've played golf in Central Florida, I've had an opportunity to play. There's 2 courses on that property out there, the Hills course and the Reese Jones course, and I've never had a chance to play either one of them, or I've never been
They're
invited.
great.
And they're amazing. I mean, they're manicured like tour courses, right? So we played the Reese Jones course, and I played in the what they call first flight or A flight, which is 0 handicap to like 3.9. I'm playing as a 5 right now, so I thought I could enter that and be pretty safe. I think I'd shoot anything from 75 to 80, and
It's cute.
so I shot 75 and actually won by 6 shots that day.
Yay!
Right? So I won my first, and then immediately got moved up to the championship flight. So now I have to play against guys who can shoot under par immediately until your handicap kind of levels out. It's my first time playing with them, so but played pretty good. It was fun, a lot of fun.
So you
Big
shot
Daddy won.
Yeah, God, that is
Congratulations.
so weird to hear.
75 finished double-double.
No,
one under par.
That's not weird. Being called Big Daddy.
Get out of here with that. It's just a nickname.
Yeah, that's odd. Did he ask you to say that?
Get out of here.
It seems like something that he would. Hey. By the way,
Call me Big Daddy.
You think that I would make, if I'm going to make anybody call me Big Daddy, it's you.
I'm not calling you that.
I'm telling you, you better call me that from now on.
Nah,
Yeah.
Oh.
Say it.
I'm not. What?
You say it.
Can I? Do I have to?
Say
Jack, do I have to?
Say it.
Jimmy, 3 to 7.
It's the Jim Colbert show. Say it.
I'm happy for you, Big Daddy.
Oh, yeah! I like that.
Congrats on the dub.
Didn't even really want it. Actually, I just wanted to see that you could do it.
Whoa.
All right, Deb, what's
Everything
coming,
smells-
what's coming up for news?
Apparently, it's Big Daddy controlled. Okay. Well, unfortunately, we are going to kick off woke news with the sad story of today, marking 1 week since the Uvalde shooting. Our first tropical depression is possible this week, and Taco Bell lovers, oh no, they're searching for Mexican pizza.
Uh-huh.
We'll talk about that and more coming up next during Woke News.
You got it. 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Deb's Woke News and more The Jim Colbert Show right after this.
Now between World Drive and Osceola Polk Line Road. It's still slow eastbound, too, between State Road 536 and Central Florida Parkway, as well as coming in from Polk County from U.S. Highway 27 up to 429. No reported issues right now on the 408. We're in good shape on the beach line. See traffic problems? Call the traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Staples has your workplace covered with furniture and organizational items curated by Staples Work From Home Style Squad. Now get 25% off storage and filing products, chair mats, decor, and lighting with the purchase of a desk or office chair. In-store only offer N72. Staples, the working and learning store.
Inflation running high. Who knows when it will level out? Buy your windows and doors right now at FAS and lock in your price. FAS has the largest window and door showroom in all of Central Florida. 38 unique windows and doors ready for you to operate. And they're built with with impact-resistant glass to give you security, noise reduction, and maximum efficiency. Not to mention, FAS has a full selection of windows, or hurricane windows and doors as well. Estimate's always free, and they always give you plenty of options. Not to mention, all products have a lifetime warranty. And if you act right now, you can get rebates of $55 per window and $95 per door. That's at FAS Windows and Doors. Plus, they have no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 months. Check out the showroom, Fairbanks and I-4. Can't beat them. FASWD.com.
Science is always cool. Orlando Science Center, OSC.org.
Do you want to sell your home fast? Then get ready to write down an important number. I'm Gabriel with Florida Cash Home Buyers, and we pay cash for houses with no commissions or fees. We buy properties in any condition or situation and can close in as little as 3 days or on your time frame. You can even get a $10,000 cash advance before the closing. Call us today for a free no-obligation offer. 407-410-9000. That's 407-410-9000.
If you've been involved in a car accident and are not sure of your legal options, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 and take back control of your life.
Office in Orlando.
No matter what I get, it's 20% off every day when I spend $1 on the McDonald's app. So yesterday was my please the whole fam on the way to the game meal. Today is my finally get them to stop asking, are we there yet meal. Who knows what tomorrow will be? Maybe a delicious crispy chicken sandwich all for myself meal. Whatever it is, it's a win. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Offer valid through December 31st, 2022 at participating McDonald's. Valid once a day. Excludes tax. McD app download and registration required.
A meal at McDonald's brings my family closer together. And now that same meal helps bring other families closer together. When we order a family bundle deal that has 40 crispy chicken McNuggets and 2 large fries, McDonald's donates 50 cents to local Florida Ronald McDonald House Charities chapters, providing a home away from home so families can stay close to their child during medical care. We can also round up our order and the extra will get donated. Food, family, and helping others? What could be better? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Tax problems can be extremely stressful and cause financial devastation. The tax attorneys at J. David Tax Law are right here in Orlando to be your personal advocate and resolve your IRS or state sales tax issues. J. David Tax Law focuses on your needs and case outcomes. Don't be fooled by out-of-town tax companies that focus only on signing you up without even working with an attorney. At J. David Tax Law, only highly experienced tax attorneys will represent you. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, payroll taxes, bank levies, wage garnishments, tax liens, or unfiled returns, have a face-to-face with J. David Tax Law and get the help you need. Never trust your tax situation to anyone you can't walk in and look in the eye. Call J. David Tax Law for a no-cost consultation at 407-603-3962. That's 407-603-3962. Or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or a phone call away.
Earned 3 courtesy waves in a single car trip? That calls for a donut. On June 3rd, bite into any delicious donut from Dunkin' free with any beverage purchase for National Donut Day. Come celebrate this June 3rd. America runs on Dunkin'. Exclusions apply. Participation may vary while supplies last.
Hand me that nail gun. Here you go. And here's the fries. Lunch. Who's hungry? You know, maybe instead of loading up a nail gun with French fries to feed the crew, we should just order lunch through Easy Cater. Food from all our favorite restaurants. My bad. On time and as ordered. Huh. Load up the hot dogs while I think about it.
Some food just doesn't work at work, but Easy Cater just does. Food for work on time and as ordered from over 85,000 restaurants. Order 24/7 at easycater.com.
Spectrum is America's leading internet provider, delivering ultra-fast gig speeds you need on the high-performance network you want. And Spectrum's advanced home Wi-Fi is security made simple, automatically blocking outside threats, along with 99.9% network reliability. So no matter what you do online, you can do it faster, safer, and more reliably with Spectrum Internet. Get 200 megabits per second for only $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com today for details. Based on internet subscribers among top internet service providers. Restrictions apply.
Want to hear something that's going to make you feel better? Seeing your own primary care doctor, now just around the corner. At Village Medical, at Walgreens. Our providers and care teams take care of you with same-day appointments, extended hours, and virtual visits, too. You get the comprehensive care you need, when and where you want it. Experience exceptional care at Village Medical. Book your primary care appointment at villagemedical.com/getcare. That's villagemedical.com/getcare.
It's summertime and you're on the move. And now you can bring your favorite radio station, just like this one, with you wherever you're going. When you download the free iHeartRadio app, have something to say, tap the talkback mic and send a voice message. You might even end up on the radio. In the mood for music? Explore thousands of playlists to match your vibe, from summer to sleep and everything in between. And listen to the most popular podcasts on the planet, all for free. And all waiting for you now on the free iHeartRadio app. Discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love.
Best price the first time. OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show. Also available to watch at The Jim Colbert Show on Facebook.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Hip Hopcast with our
Sneeze on the truth.
My sneezing co-host. All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. By the way, congratulations to everybody who won $1,000 from the radio station during our last run. I think we gave almost 20 G's away.
Almost. I think we were at 18. I still hadn't checked on Friday since we weren't here.
So
that would have been cool if we had a winner when
Right.
Even
seriously.
Yeah, so we've given a lot of money away. I'm sure we'll be doing it again soon. Keep your ears peeled. We do this quite often. The company loves giving money away to other people.
To other people.
Right.
I was going to say.
407-916-1041. Thank God our promo budget's up there, though.
Yeah.
Jack is here. Ross is here. Let's get a check of the news. Here's Deb.
And now, it's time for Woke News.
It seems like kind of a misuse of the whole world.
On the Jim Colbert Show.
All right, Woke News is brought to you by Home Loans Radio and that mortgage guy, Don. Today, unfortunately, marks 1 week since the mass shooting at a South Texas elementary school. Sadness, anger, and questions fill the community of Uvalde, Texas today as the small town begins burying the 19 children and 2 teachers killed. In the town of 16,000, it turns out everyone knows someone who is related to the victims.
Right, yeah, for sure.
More than a few parents, of course, are angry that law enforcement waited more than an hour to confront the 18-year-old gunman who was armed with an assault-style weapon, AR-15. He had bought this month for his 18th birthday. Unfortunately, answers to questions about how it all happened could be months away as the U.S. Department of Justice reviews how authorities handled the situation. President Biden has vowed to meet with members of Congress on new gun regulations at some point. Meanwhile, a bipartisan group of senators is attempting to find common ground on gun reform. Back here closer to home, Atlantic hurricane season is officially underway tomorrow.
Bring it.
And forecasters say there is now a 70% chance the remnants of the Pacific hurricane Agatha, which hit Mexico today, could redevelop into a cyclone over the next 5 days. If it does and it gets a name over here, it would go from Agatha to Alex. So it would be the first. It would be the first tropical system of the Atlantic hurricane season and could also bring heavy rains to Florida this weekend. Florida's disaster preparedness tax holiday does run through June 10th with a chance to stock up on a number of hurricane supplies as sales tax free.
I have to tell you, man, we got no rain this entire weekend, not one drop.
Really?
Not one.
So I would be scared of Agatha.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just Agatha. Isn't that a witch? Isn't that a famous witch name?
Oh, yeah.
Agatha?
From,
Is it really?
I think, isn't that the mother from Bewitched?
Yeah, that was
Wasn't
Agatha.
that
Yeah,
Samantha's mother's name was
You are
Agatha?
right. Yeah. Agnes Moorehead played her.
Yeah.
But I'm fine with Alex. I like how her storms are even gender neutral. Hell yeah.
Well, gender neutral or not, as hurricane season is about to begin, a new survey shows how many Floridians would not leave their homes ahead of a storm. AAA says 1 out of 4 residents plan to ignore evacuation orders even if a hurricane is approaching.
Yeah, man.
Now, but you may understand why, because several reasons for not evacuating include not being able to bring their pets, not knowing where to go, damage to property that can't be fixed, and not being able to afford to go.
Yeah.
The survey found 60% would only leave for a major storm of Category 3 or higher.
Wow.
And as we saw with Michael, Michael sat out in the Gulf and in 24 hours ramped up from like a 3 to a 5.
Yeah.
So you had all those Panhandle residents who are like, I've been through a 3 before. I'm not leaving for a 3. But by the time it had ramped up to a 5, they couldn't leave. And then emergency personnel can't come and save them.
Right.
So that's the other sad part to that story. Florida gas prices are finally slowly drifting lower from record highs. AAA says the Sunshine State's average for a gallon of regular $4.57. That's just fractions of a cent lower than yesterday, Memorial Day. Florida's all-time high is $4.58, which was set last Thursday. Now, the most expensive gas in the state is in West Palm Beach, where the average is now $4.72.
Wow.
This gas station right next to us, $4.75.
For regular?
Yeah.
And the other thing I've been hearing rumbles about lately is a diesel shortage.
Really?
Yeah, that the nation's trucking companies are preparing for what they're expecting to be a diesel shortage. No word on it yet, but they're preparing for it. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is actively searching for an aggressive alligator at a Pinellas County park. The gator bit a man this morning, and he later died after the attack. Now, the attack happened at John S. Taylor Park in Largo when the victim was retrieving a Frisbee in the water at a disc golf course.
Damn.
And signs are posted at the lake warning people to steer clear of the gators.
Damn. By the way, that disc golf is blowing up.
It
too.
is.
They had like a few thousand people show up for one of the big tournaments. And I just saw it on one of the social media platforms. It said, wow, it's so good to see a lot of people out here. And they panned their phone. And I was like, what the F? There were thousands of people there watching that stuff. And by the way, I don't know if you follow any of these guys or watch any of this stuff on social. It is unbelievable what they can do with a Frisbee. Genuinely unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. We have a disc golf course. You see them out there all the time.
They're giant.
And it's unbelievable.
It's fun.
The accuracy. It's crazy.
So good. We could do that.
I'll beat you in that, too.
That's what we should do, a disc golf tournament.
Yes.
I'm driving the beer cart.
That's fine. Hey, we can do that.
Damn, it's throwing a Frisbee.
I'm not good at that either, I'm sure. I'll drive the beer cart.
That's fine.
After pickleball, that's all y'all get.
Okay.
It's pickleball.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, we'll do pickleball again if that's what Deb will play.
By the way, her name was Endora. Not
Endora.
Agatha,
Okay,
right.
there we go.
Played
Thank
by
you to
Agnes Moorehead.
There we go.
Shut up.
Thank you for the
Shut
texting
up.
service
I got that
for
part
letting
right.
us know.
I'm batting 500.
All right, a Central Florida man is dead following an apparent explosion during an outdoor party with a bonfire. The Volusia County Sheriff's Office says Michael Riedlinger died in the 2900 block of 3rd Court near DeLand. Now, he went to attend to the fire around 3:30 in the morning before witnesses heard what they described as a loud hissing noise and then something sounding like it hit the ground. Well, the 51-year-old was discovered with extensive injuries and died at the scene. They have not said what it was that exploded. The fire marshal's office is conducting an investigation into the apparent explosion, but did somebody inadvertently throw? I mean,
like a propane tank in there or
that's
something?
the only. I mean, I don't know what could have caused enough extensive
Wow.
injuries.
Well, you got to remember, it just back in the day, we used to throw hairspray cans into fires because they would explode.
Right.
And I mean, explode. But the problem is, because you're dumb and you don't think about stuff like this, is what it propels towards you as it explodes.
Yeah.
So you throw one of these things in there, it worked its way down, blows up, then it's blowing hot embers at you. And if you throw something in there like bigger than that, you could see where it could be a problem.
Or maybe he went to go tend the fire and discovered that the bonfire had crept closer to maybe the propane tank on the gas grill or something, and it just got too hot, too close.
You know, I thought you were going to say he just like passed out and fell in.
Oh,
That's what
really?
I thought. Like 3:30 in the morning. You know, I mean, at a party.
Yeah, no, he went to go tend the fire and heard the hissing, and then the next thing you know, there was the explosion. And yeah.
I do love the irony of Jim destroying Hairspray. A little homage, a foreshadow.
Got him.
That's poetic.
Big Daddy doesn't like that.
All right. Protesters. Go ahead, Ross. Call him Big Daddy. It gets easier the more you say it.
Let me ask him a quick question.
Go ahead.
Who doesn't like that?
I don't like that. Small Daddy doesn't like that. Oh, so Small Daddy is...
That's not good. I'll take Big Daddy all day. I'll let him figure it out if it's my belly or not.
Wow. Protesters are urging the removal of what one woman calls a very traumatic presence in Orlando. Members of the Juneteenth Project Coalition rallied yesterday at Icon Park, calling again, demanding that the slingshot ride be torn down. This after Missouri 14-year-old Tyree Sampson died in March after falling off the ride. JPC founder Tina Wilson tells WESH 2 News that in addition to closing the ride for good and removing it, she also wants to see a permanent memorial to Sampson at the site. It's $1 million property in the heart of the tourist district. I cannot see them. I don't know, though. I don't know if the ride is going to, I don't know if that ride is going to remain.
It's so weird to say you don't agree with that because, all of her intentions are positive. She wants her son to be remembered. She wants that thing to be torn down because of, what happened. But I can't support that. I can't, but I understand. And it's weird saying that because, what does it cost me? It's not really affecting me at all. So why would I care? But I just,
because it does affect someone, whether it's the jobs and,
it does affect someone.
And that's a business, and they invested into that area, and unfortunately, they had staff that was not properly trained. Is that the cost of that failure?
Someone made a terrible mistake.
You're going to lose your business.
But that thing ran perfectly for a very long time. Yeah. And even after this mistake, had they opened it up 3 days later, it would more than likely have run with no problems up until this day. Somebody made a very bad decision that day. And the machine, like Deborah said, has to be altered. They're going to pay out their ass. The company might not even make it. Who knows?
That's the part that's going to be interesting to me. I think that's going to be the single biggest determining factor as to whether or not the slingshot ride reopens or stays is going to be if the company is going to remain solvent after all of the lawsuits.
You can't tell me all those other adventure rides out there are any safer, I guess. I mean, it's just a matter of time before somebody falls out of that swing or something like that, right?
Well, this is the tallest.
If you alter it, I know what you're saying, but I mean, dead is dead.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be callous here, but in that same sense, if you fall out of a swing or out of that thing, when you hit, you're just as dead. I'm just trying to think that you look at it with a sympathetic heart, and you understand that somebody's hurting there, but you have to find the core reason why. And although I understand she probably wants a target for it, I don't necessarily believe that's the answer.
I mean, if you build a memorial, you're probably going to end up shutting down the ride through the memorial as well. Because, I mean, imagine walking up to that ride and then seeing.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I wouldn't imagine that. Because, and again, people have died at all of our parks in Central Florida, and there's very few that are memorialized.
Yeah.
So, but just like Ross said, I mean, who's going to go on the ride after you've.
That's a tough statement to make because it sounds so heartless, but it's really not. It's real. That's a realistic look at things, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, absolutely not. Speaking of Memorial Day, the sacrifices of Americans lost in war weren't forgotten all over Florida, including Central Florida and in Sumter County. A Memorial Day ceremony was held yesterday at Florida National Cemetery in Bushnell. Retired Major General Joanna Sheridan was the keynote speaker, and she talked about soldiers who died just last year when a bomb went off while they were trying to help people flee Afghanistan. She said they won't be the last American heroes to make such a sacrifice, but they are the very best of this generation. And to that end, a special flight to honor veterans took off from Orlando's Sanford International Airport today. I think this is pretty cool. Nonprofit Honor Flight Network flies U.S. veterans to Washington, D.C. for free so they can go see all the different memorials there. Well, the first all-woman flight took off this morning following a request from the Tri-County Women Veterans nearly 2 years ago. Thanks, COVID. The flight took 109 veterans, including a 97-year-old who served in World War II.
Wow.
To see Arlington National Cemetery, the United States Air Force Memorial, among others.
Wow, that's very cool.
Isn't that cool?
That's great.
I love those stories like that. Veterans shouldn't have to pay a dime anyway. And then finally, I'm so happy that the Taco Bell Mexican pizza is back.
Yeah.
But
Bring back the dog.
I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Because Taco Bell lovers are now being left to search for Mexican pizza. The fan favorite is sold out already at some locations across the country just days after it returned. The fast food chain says it trained for weeks to prepare for the demand, but didn't realize it would take so long to restock. Taco Bell promises it's working hard to get the item back. The shortage is also delaying the Mexican Pizza musical starring Dolly Parton, which was supposed to premiere on TikTok last Thursday.
This is the thing she did with Miley Cyrus, right? It's like a commercial, like a goof thing or whatever.
I mean, it can't be taken seriously. I don't know if they're going to have strong themes with social commentary for the Mexican Pizza musical.
Remember, Amy Drew talked about this a couple of weeks ago, saying how big this was going to be.
It was huge.
And it was so big that other vendors in town, other taco makers, started making their own Mexican pizza, so when people ran out at Taco Bell, they could go and get theirs.
And I'm having a hard time thinking that they ran out. There's only one thing. No, there's two things. You have the taco sauce that comes with the Mexican pizza, and then just the full circle tortilla chip. You have all the other ingredients.
Yeah, you just fry the corn one there where you'd fry the chips. So, I mean, they have it.
Well, someone did say that Publix apparently has the Taco Bell branded ingredients to make your own Mexican pizza at home.
Oh, yeah, player.
But that's not the same.
No,
It's the
exactly.
same.
It doesn't have that Taco Bell flavor
It's
to
the
it.
same. I could make it the same.
No, it's not the same
It's
when
not the
someone
same.
hands it through a little window
Right.
into your car. It has a different quality to it.
It just does.
Like someone else did the work.
I love taking the bite, and you can taste sour cream, the sauce, all the ingredients,
cheese.
the college debt.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The despair.
The parental disappointment.
Yeah.
That's the only item of food that I'm aware of that should be rated R.
What, Taco Bell or the Mexican
Just
pizza
the Mexican
specifically?
pizza, man. You
Oh, I love that
Coming
thing,
in hot.
man. Oh,
It's good. You've never had one, right, Jim?
No, I don't eat Taco Bell.
Not only have I not
what?
had it, I've never seen one.
Yeah, I've never seen one.
what?
I just don't. It's not my thing, man. Taco Bell's not my thing.
But you're a food guy.
Exactly.
Well, watch out for the jabs with Taco Bell.
I just not my thing. I'm not mad at them. They do a great service for the people who eat that food. I just don't eat it.
They're all about the fourth meal.
Yeah, I got you. God bless them.
And now you all are officially woke, and Woke News is brought to you by Home Loans Radio with that mortgage guy, Don. Yes, I know mortgage rates have gone up a bit, but you know what else has gone up a lot these last couple of years? Your home values. And that means you likely have more equity than you've ever had before. And that means this is a great time for you to tap into your hard-earned equity to do some home improvements, pay off higher interest credit card debt, lower your monthly bills, or maybe just stuff some cash into your mattress. All you have to do is go to homeloansradio.com, ask Don any mortgage question, get a written quote. So easy. Homeloansradio.com or thatmortgageguydon.com.
Thanks, Deb. 407-916-1041. Back in a second with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Orlando City hosts Houston Dynamo FC on Saturday, June 18th. Coverage starts at 7 p.m. on our sister station, FM 96.9 The Game. From the Driveway.com Weather Center.
Hi, everybody. Good Tuesday to you. Fox 35 Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Jamie King with your Central Florida weather forecast update from the Fox 35 Storm Center. Hot and humid today. I've got rain chances at around the 30% range. Rather limited today. The highest chance will be around the theme parks and areas to the west, closer to Tampa as we get to the afternoon hours. Chances there at about 50% plus. Hot, humid conditions again. Hot highs in the low 90s. East winds at 5 to 15. For tonight, 71. Warm and muggy. Scattered clouds. Dry overnight with east winds at 5. For Fox 35, I'm Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Jamie King. Take care.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $5 Biggie Bag. Wendy's Biggie Bag is still just $5. Get a double-stacked junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT plus 4-piece nugs, small fries, and a small drink. Grab your bag at Wendy's today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii.
Some roads take us to where we want to go. Other roads lead to Mo. In a world full of dangerous roads, there's only one thing you need to know. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
She was just 14 when an innocent girl. She was abducted from a local store. She was so violated she will never have children. That she is me. Human trafficking is real. Please donate to thelifeboatproject.org.
Most politicians are just show ponies, but Wilton Simpson is a workhorse. Conservative, Republican, fifth-generation Floridian. Simpson's a lifelong farmer who shoots straight and gets things done, like educational and economic opportunity, As Florida Senate President, Wilton Simpson worked side by side with Governor DeSantis. Simpson fought and won more rights for parents, more choices for kids, and was named champion for school choice. When some politicians wanted lockdowns that threatened our economy, our kids' educations, and our constitutional rights, Wilton Simpson led the charge to keep Florida free and open. Simpson's endorsed by Governor Ron DeSantis, 59 sheriffs, and President Donald Trump. Workhorse Wilton Simpson, the conservative who gets things done. Candidate, Florida Commissioner of Agriculture.
Sponsored by Grow Florida.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Nothing makes a good night bad or bad night worse than hitting up a drive-thru and getting served cold, tired fries. Golden, more like soggy arches. Tonight, make it Wendy's, where fries are hot and crispy, not cold and soggy. They're also preferred over McDonald's, almost 2-to-1. End the night on a good fry. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's late night.
Taste test preference based on a national taste test by an independent research company. Hours may vary by location.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
On the new true crime podcast Betrayal, a woman chronicles her fairy tale romance gone horribly wrong. Her husband's secret life destroyed their marriage, shook their community, and ultimately sent him to prison.
Going through Spence's emails, Snapchat, whatever I could get my hands on. Just a punch in the gut every single time.
Listen to Betrayal on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Search, browse, and email privately, all for free with the DuckDuckGo app.
People constantly ask me, how long is this crazy used car market going to last? And I think we've got 30, 60, 90 days left. But when she drops off, she's going to drop off hot and fast. So if you want to sell your ride, I'd do it now. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com. We're America's best car buyer. We don't beat your CarMax offer. Send you a check for $100. I've never seen a used car market this high. Grab it while you can.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Car crash? Call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Instagram, it's not just for dog pic. Oh my God, look at this cute puppy.
At Real Radio 1041.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. We now return to the Jim Colbert Show.
30 seconds of hockey, the day after Memorial Day edition. Jack, if you play this, I appreciate it. So the Lightning now have their team they're going up against, the New York Rangers. This entire series is going to be nothing but the goalies, man. Both goalies are powerhouses. The offense and defense are going to have to figure out how the heck they're going to get through their goalies. I do not see this series being a high-scoring game. In fact, the first 2 games are going to be maybe 2 goals each team. Number 1 BS, go Bolts, Rockledge Matt out.
All right, there you go. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041 to call us. Easily text us at 77031.
And really, if you want a little more success on the talkbacks, if you could end with "Back to you, Big Daddy," I think you increase the probability of getting played today.
1,000%. I'll take it. Welcome back. I'm Jim, a.k.a. Big Daddy, a.k.a. Puzzle Master. Deb is here.
What?
So is Jack.
Yeah.
Ross says, "Hey, Ross, how you doing?" You now have 3 ways to refer to me, my friend. All of them awesome. You can use Jim.
I'm never saying the BD term again.
You can say Big Daddy.
Nope.
Or you can say Puzzle Master. Either one of those will be right. And then you can say guy who stomps your ass flat in golf next week, I'm sure.
Ooh. Next week?
Yeah, something like that.
Let's go after it. Let's go and get it.
Son, it's got.
It's
got. I'm sitting here. Got. You're got.
Big Daddy into small puppy.
Bring money because Big Daddy doesn't play for change. We're playing for wedding cash, all right?
Wedding cash?
I'm looking to take an hour of your open bar away from you.
I don't think I have access to those funds anymore.
Oh, really?
All right, 407-916-1041. What'd you do?
Oh, no. Yeah, as soon as I said it, it sounded like I've been stealing from my marriage fund. I have not. I'm just terrified to take anything out of it.
I have a little story to tell you real quick before we get into what you do that's new and some other stuff at the top of the show. I was talking to you guys before the program today. My wife had, she's a friend, a former relative from her first marriage that they remain very close. And she's very, very cool. She comes into town. Her family's, we all know each other. We're, again, it's still kind of like we're related still. But we enjoy her company. So she came down this weekend because she was doing a friend a favor. A friend had a storage unit here in town that she had to move to Belgium and has not been back, so she's not coming back. So she asked this person to go over and check out the storage unit to clear it out. Now, apparently, there's some pretty cool stuff in there. If you remember a couple weeks ago, when we had Glenn on the air with us, Glenn Klausman, for What'd You Do That's New, I said, hey, man, I've got some stuff that could be kind of cool. Are you interested? And he wasn't, simply because they buy so much stuff up north that they weren't interested in any other thing. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing because he practically begged you.
Yeah, right.
To not mention a storage unit full of things.
Right. So with that said, she went in there and started tooling around. Now, there was some pretty nice stuff in there because this woman had purchased some nice stuff to keep. But, as she's going through it, we brought some of the boxes home and they spread out a blanket and they're down there looking for that treasure because you never know, right? But in the context of doing that, my wife said, you know what, Jimmy got some stuff from his grandfather's estate years ago when he went over and his grandfather passed. And I didn't get many things from my grandfather's estate. I got a pistol and a few other things. But I did manage to get some paper goods back then because my grandfather had a pretty good collection of stuff that he thought was collectible art. Now, he was more of a mechanical guy, self-taught engineer for the city of Fort Lauderdale. But he did have an eye for stuff like that, and he knew things were interesting, and he would buy them, and he bought them, and he never really took good care of it. It just, laid around the house. It was not properly stored, and a lot of it that he had, even though very cool, a lot of it just simply is ruined. Matter of fact, I threw out a print this weekend I knew was worth $70 or $80 simply because it was ruined. I found it, and found that it had value if it was in good shape.
Right.
So we're looking through these pieces that I've looked at probably 30 or 40 times. Every once in a while, you go and find them, you dig them out, see if there's any new information online about them, and then go on. So as we're looking through them, I'm like, yeah, I found this one. That has a little value. Yeah, I found this one. That's kind of cool. No value, but a really interesting painting or, birds or whatever. Then found a couple other guys who were famous for painting birds, and we had some of their paintings. Also, a little bit of value, not enough. Or not a lot, I should say. Enough is all relative. So we get to this last piece, and my wife hands this to me. She goes, what is this? And she hands it to me. And it's a frame picture. It's like an 8x10, maybe a little bit better, maybe a 12 by 13 or 14 or something like that, right? But the photograph or the art image is only probably 4x6 in the dead center. And it's cut out, professionally framed with a sealed back from whoever framed it. And we know it's from the 40s. And it's just a line drawing, a very rudimentary pen or pencil drawing.
Looks like a doodle.
Of a face, of a doodly face with kind of crazy eyes. And across the picture, there's a name on the picture. as if somebody had said, this is a picture of this person or a drawing of this person. And the person happens to be a guy named Guillaume Apollinaire, who is a French poet, right? And if you look up and research that name, you find that Guillaume. I know.
How's it spelled?
Gillaume. So it's Guillaume?
Yeah, sound it out.
Apollinaire. Got that last part right?
I think it's Guillaume.
All right, it could be. And I start doing that research. It probably is. It's probably Guillaume. And I start doing the research and I find out that that is an actual person. And he's actually a famous person. He's a French poet that was born in the late 1800s, right? He, by the way, died at 38 years old.
Oh.
But before he died, he started a poetry movement called the Surrealism or Cubist poetry movement. And a lot of very famous poets were part of it. And in the context of forming these relationships with these other poets, he also formed a relationship with some very famous artists as well. And after doing some research, I found out something. That Guillaume Apollinaire's very, very best friend in the world was Pablo Picasso.
So you're saying you could be sitting on a doodle of Guillaume Apollinaire's face being doodled by Pablo Picasso.
By his best friend and then gifted to him by Pablo Picasso.
Any room in your family?
It is a very, very good chance. And the reason why I know it's a good chance is because Picasso did this a lot.
Yeah.
He did little doodles like this all the time.
Well, you told the story of how he would do the doodle on the back of a check that they would use to pay for a big meal, knowing that the restaurant would never cash it because it's a Pablo Picasso.
Yeah, that's a really good story. So what Picasso would do is he'd go in, he'd bring these people into this great meal. Everybody knew who he was, and he would write a check, and he would sign the name of his check and then write a little doodle on it, knowing the people would never cash the check because it had his picture.
What a great way to dine and dash, right?
Such a good scam.
That is such a...
Because here's the thing. The scam really worked for the people getting the check. The check became way more valuable.
Oh, of course, than the meal.
Than the meal or the check itself.
That's very Bradshaw.
So I'm actually looking...
Thank you.
I'm looking for an art appraiser right now in Central Florida that can verify whether or not this thing is what I think it may be.
Okay, good. Well, when you find your art appraiser, let me know. I'm looking for a China appraiser.
Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. But it's kind of interesting. This stuff sat in a bin, just sat in a bin forever, and started looking at it. So we're going to go get it appraised and see if it is anything fun.
Well, you should look for like handwriting samples of Picasso and see if...
So we've already done all of this.
Oh, really? Did it match?
We don't know because we don't know where... I have to do the research to find out how old he was because his signature did change as he got a little older.
Right.
And it's kind of sloppy. So I don't know, man. It could be nothing. I don't know. It's just kind of weird that someone would frame a very rudimentary drawing, look like a kid drew it.
Right.
It would be weird that you would frame that and think that would have value. It would be literally like taking a drawing off of your refrigerator and putting it in a frame and saying, here, this has value. So I don't know. We'll check it out.
You might have it.
He might have a Picasso.
You do have it.
Yeah, I have it. No question.
Because I just, looked up Picasso doodles.
Yeah, what are they selling for?
Well, no, I'm just looking at the images.
Yeah. Well, they sell for quite a bit. A couple of them are selling for between 15 and 30 grand. Just for doodles, just for little napkin doodles. Anything that he touched, really. And this is a personal thing to somebody that he had a great friendship. So it has provenance.
Right.
So you when you learn that about the Antiques Roadshow, that if it has a story behind it that's personal to him, to the artist, it actually has more value. But signed to somebody isn't valuable unless it's a letter.
And have you looked up?
I did 3 hours of research on this yesterday. Everything I learned, I just told you. I mean, I'm just still in the infancy of it.
How close were the images that you looked up?
There's nothing like it because none of his doodles were like the same. Nobody drew this crazy eye character. I've looked everywhere. I even did the search where you take a picture of that and then put it in and it looks for anything close to it. There's nothing. Which kind of even really fits the story even more, really.
What app is that?
You just put it in Google and do it. Just search a photo, right? Search an image. And it'll find things like it.
All right.
Wait, did you just teach Ross something about the internet?
Yeah, Big Daddy does that all the time, man. I don't mean to talk about myself in third person, but when you're this great, sometimes you have to. Isn't that right, Small Daddy?
None of that is true.
407-916-1041. What'd you do that's new? Coming up next.
Filling in the awkward silences during couple Zoom game night. I know your mom's name. Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Eastbound travel on I-4 still slow from U.S. Highway 27 in Polk County up to 429. It's also heavy between State Road 536 and Central Florida Parkway. Westbound delays continue between World Drive and Osceola Polk Line Road. The turnpike is up to speed as well as the beach line. Watch for a crash with blockage on Colonial Drive at Powers Drive. See traffic problems? Call the traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Welcome back to Wawa Siptopia, your handcrafted beverage happy place. Enjoy smoothies, refreshers, hot and iced lattes, or try the new frozen coffee and frozen refreshers. Wawa is your handcrafted beverage happy place. Gotta have a Wawa.
Summertime is a great time to add appeal and value to your home with a beautiful new fence from our friends over at Mossy Oak Fence. You know, whether it's to keep a nosy neighbor outside, maybe to keep your puppy and children safely inside, the fence freaks over at Mossy Oak Fence have you covered. Freaks on quality, your satisfaction, and certainly your security. Skilled craftsmen use only the very best materials, always getting you the very best results. And that quality they have is backed up by the best warranty in the business. Just visit mossyoakfences.com, and as always, let the Mossy family protect your family today.
Right now at International Diamond Center, you can get that Rolex watch you've always dreamed of and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. That's right. Now for a limited time, IDC's incredible 5-year zero interest plan is available on over 800 luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. Luxury timepieces have never been so affordable. IDC's buyers have scoured the country, buying up only the best of the best pre-owned Rolexes, the ones you can't find anywhere else. Daytonas, Batmans, Pepsis, Datejusts, Submariners, each one carefully inspected and in pristine condition. If you've been trying to find a Rolex, you know what a challenge it is. But IDC has the model you want in stock now at a very competitive price. And now through June 30th, you can pick out the Rolex you've always wanted. We'll make it more affordable than ever with special 5-year zero interest financing. Hurry in for the best selection. We've got hundreds of Rolex watches for both men and women. Don't miss this opportunity to get the Rolex you deserve. Only at International Diamond Center. On approved credit, some restrictions apply. See store for details or shopidc.com.
Hey, where'd you get that synthesizer?
I just bought it. Since we're saving so much with no mortgage down payment and no PMI with Navy Federal Credit Union, I figured I'd put some of that extra money to good use. Oh, and I'm starting a band with some platoon mates.
Great.
Learn how you can save $2,500 on average with a Navy Federal mortgage at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Coming in at 5'3", it's #1 mom. She switched to Xfinity and got the all-new 3-for-1 bundle. Unlimited internet, streaming, and Xfinity Mobile. All for what you could pay wireless companies for just one 5G unlimited line. Boom! Shakalaka! That's why they call her the Master of Moolah, the Sultan of Savings, the Queen of Cash. And now, also with Xfinity Internet, you can get unlimited data, Wi-Fi equipment, and a free Flex 4K streaming box included with a 2-year rate guarantee and no term contract. All for just $30 per month when you add an Xfinity mobile plan at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/3-for-1, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New fast internet 300 megabits per second customers only. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity Internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Hi there. I've got some kind of a leak at my kitchen sink.
Sorry, we can't take your call. We've all gone to a self-improvement seminar.
But there's water leaking all over the...
However, there's still hope if you'll just wait a few hours longer.
Hours?
But waiting is good. It's a chance to reconsider your choices in life.
Oh no, this can't be happening.
Above all, be present. Don't dismiss your feelings.
Not worried about my feelings. There's water going everywhere.
Try to see this as an opportunity, a way to grow as a person.
You know, this would never happen with Frank Gay.
True enough, but you didn't call Frank Gay.
Not this time.
The universe is sending you a message. You just need to hear it.
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you have a leak, you need solutions on your schedule. A helpful expert who can find the problem and fix it fast. That's the Frank Gay way.
Have you heard the message? Hello? Are you still there?
That's the Frank Gay way.
frankgayservices.com.
Having trouble with your AC? Call our friends at Mills Air, 407-277-1159. With 30 years of experience, they can certainly help you out. Carrier factory authorized dealers with up to $1,275 in rebates towards that brand new Carrier unit. Family owned and operated, it's millsair.com.
As a marketer, you want to reach everyone. Adults, teens, millennials. But it's not like these groups all hang out in the same place, right? Actually wrong. They're all right here, listening to radio commercials just like this one. Radio ads connect with 93% of Americans every week. That's more than Google, more than Facebook, more than TV. In fact, radio reaches 20% more millennials than TV. Want more of the people you want to talk to all in one place? Visit iHeartAdvertising.com and get AM/FM working for you. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Injured? Hire America's largest injury firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind studio. Your accident, your future, your attorney. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or call pound 546 from your cell. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. We are an iHeart radio station. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show. Also available to watch at The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1. Thanks so much for tuning in on this beautiful Tuesday. Hope you had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Nice and safe out there. Had a good fun. A lot of good fun, I should say. By the way, we made a mistake earlier. It wasn't Picasso that did that. It was Salvador Dali. Somebody on the texting service reminded me, thank you, we are wrong. It was Dali who did the check thing, not Picasso.
That's right. Okay.
Which fits, because Dali was kind of a weirdo.
They all were.
Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
So is Jack.
Hi there.
And Ross joins us.
We got to shoot the gap.
Let's shoot the gap, and let's do what you do that's new.
What you do that's new. What you do that's new. Hey! If we only knew something new to do, we're relying on you. Tell us something new brought to you by Clausman Law.
That's right, Clausman Law. KLAUSMANLaw.com. Offices Winter Park, 407-917-1718. Car crash call Glenn at Clausman Law. Thanks so much, Glenn. We appreciate that. What you do that's new every Tuesday at 4 o'clock. We go around the room. Each member, every other week, we'll choose something for the other members to watch, read, or listen to. We come back and then discuss it and then let the other person make their choice. Today we're going over Jack's choice, which is Pretty Hate Machine by 9 Inch Nails, and we'll find out what Ross has for us as soon as we're done here today. Jackson, why this record?
So when I moved to Florida in 1989, I grew up on rock music. Now would be deemed classic rock of 70s and 80s. That was my thing.
Like arena rock.
That was it.
Right.
Zeppelin, Van Halen, AC/DC. That was it. Had no use for alternative music at the time. But I never really listened to alternative music at the time. I think I just judged it by the people I saw liked it and said, all right, there's something weird about that. I'm not interested. When I moved to Florida, I was exposed to different things. I worked in a kitchen at Calico Jack's over in Melbourne, and then started listening to other music. And this album was really one of the first alternative music albums that I kind of took in as a whole. And that was at a time where I started to, let's say, experiment in non-prescription items.
Let's go! You're talking about altering your consciousness.
Altering my consciousness, which definitely had an effect on how you use music.
Yes, it does.
And this album, start to finish, was immediately one of my favorite albums of all time. I haven't listened to the whole thing start to finish in about 30 years until today. And I'm like, wow, that was a ride. And what was wrong with me back then?
Well, I can start this off. I agree. So when I moved to Orlando and I first started kind of my foray into different music, my path was similar to Jack's. Van Halen, the Scorpions, Judas Priest, all the old 80s like rock, hard rock, that hair metal scene. That's pretty much what I was confined to. I just started to branch out. I listened to hip hop too, but I just started branching out into hip hop in the late 80s. And it really did carry me over. I did not like a lot of the 90s hip-hop, so that kind of waned a little bit. And I remember picking up on a couple bands. And when I listened to this record today, I was like, oh, my God. There's no question that 9 Inch Nails was really, really inspired by bands like Front 242, Nitzer Ebb, Kraftwerk, these old school industrial sounding bands. Now, it is interesting because when I started listening to this, I don't know about you guys, but this is the first time I've heard this album from song to song in probably 25 or 30 years myself. This sounds like the beginning of what I know is, to me, this is when music went from analog to digital. Because if you listen to even the bass lines in some of this music, it sounds like computer tones. It sounds like computer-generated music, even though you know it's not. It has that deep-dop, boop-bop kind of thing. And where it's now listen, you laugh, but it's funny.
No, well, you just made a funny noise.
Okay, so here's the deal. Back in the day, when people my age in their mid-50s were introduced into like the new world, it was like Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek and Star Wars. And all of those sounds that were supposed to represent what computers were supposed to sound like were sounds like that. Beep, bop, boop, You know, the first think about the first fax machine. You heard that thing, right? When you pick up the phone, it had that sound. This sounds like that to me. Like, so this to me is a great transition album from like analog, go in there, bang it out on tape until you get it right, into the digital realm of rock music. And it was very interesting. First 4 or 5 songs, loved. The last part of this album is bludgeoning. It is dark. It's just dark. It didn't, and the songs got simpler as you went down. The melodies got too simple to me as you went down the album. First 5 songs, bangers. Last few, not a big fan.
I kind of agree with that sentiment. I thought the first half of the album was like, oh man, I didn't. Of course, this song is on the side. I've heard this song.
Right.
This song's pretty famous. And then by the end of it, and maybe that was just my just stamina when it comes to listening to an entire album, which I would admit isn't the strongest or the highest amount of stamina. Because, I mean, you're about to sit back and really focus in on listening to an album, which is a different musical experience altogether.
I loved it, actually. I listened to it driving in this morning.
And keep in mind, the back half of the album, the stuff is starting to kick in by then.
Right. That makes it more tolerable.
I thought it was great. Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I know I actually bought a 9 Inch Nails album. I bought the album with Teeth back in 2005. So I was... I was, 15, 16 then, and that's what really got me into them. It was nice to go. It almost felt like a musical history lesson.
Yeah.
You were talking about, just that turn in music of having it be digital. This is some of the foundation.
Thomas Dolby and some other guys in the 80s were doing it with like synthesizers. This was the first band I knew that did it with rock.
Yeah.
Like you heard a lot of synth music, Gary Newman. I could name 1,000 bands from the late 70s when the Moog thing started hitting and everybody was making the Moog synthesizer move and you were hearing some cool stuff, but it wasn't heavy. It didn't have body to it. This is the first time you felt synth music could be aggro and respected for that.
I feel like every time we ever review an album, we should always say the person's favorite track. Hands down, my favorite track was Something I Can Never Have, with a close second of Sanctified.
That actually is one of my favorites as well. I think song 4 or whatever it was.
Tracks 4 and 5 I thought were like, oh, this is awesome.
See, for me, it's Head Like a Hole in that one. I mean, obviously Head Like a Hole is a major hit, but that's a good song.
Down in It was the hit off of that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Actually, Down in It was a producer in London. He never met Trent Reznor at the time. The 9 Inch Nails is Trent Reznor. And then he would always have different people, whether it's performing live. I saw him live at Lollapalooza in 91 at the Central Florida Fairgrounds.
Man, you were rolling.
That was acid that day, and that was weird.
He's an intense fellow. Trent's an intense guy. I'll tell you the other thing, too.
You're talking about Bradshaw there for a second.
He's a guy that gets the most out of his voice because he doesn't have a classical rock voice, even in the most loose sense of the term, but it really fits that kind of music well. So he actually kind of wrote the music around the shortcomings of his voice, which works out great. What do you think, Deb?
Well, I loved it. This was actually the first time I'd ever listened to Pretty Hate Machine from track 1 to the end of it. I listened to it on Saturday while I was painting my latest diorama. Great music to craft by the way.
It's kind of dark.
That's okay. I rolled with it. It was awesome.
It's brooding is what it is.
It's brooding, and it might explain a lot. I went through a breakup in this time period in the early 90s. And I also had a show on WFIT over in Melbourne. It was an alternative music station. And I think I dedicated half the album to my act.
Oh,
you did that?
Starting with Head Like a Hole, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to cry, right?
Yeah, it was intense.
That was the other thing, too, was finding out like what like Ross said, a lesson in music history. I didn't realize this album came out in 1989. To me, this is like mid-90s music. And to realize that Pretty Hate Machine was 1989. And to me, it's one of those defining albums. It's like Nevermind from Nirvana.
Right.
It's so stamped into the early 90s psyche that you hear Head Like a Hole and you go right back to 1991 or whatever it was you were doing at that time.
And that's when it caught on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I mean, I liked Led Zeppelin, Scorpions, Judas Priest, but I was also like Kraftwerk, Bauhaus, Sex Pistols. So when 9 Inch Nails and that kind of brooding dark music came out, it's like Tool.
And you're I forgot.
And Rage.
I forgot what happened there. You're 100% right. Other albums that came out in 1989. 89, Pump by Aerosmith.
Wow.
Janet Jackson's is it Rhythm Nation?
Yeah.
Dr. Feelgood from Motley Crue. Cosmic Thing by the B-52s. Man, you're talking, that's a long time ago. I didn't realize it. I thought it was in the early 90s. You just hit me with a brick. I didn't even look at the year it was released.
Because it's fascinating to me, the time you ascribe to it, and then you go back and you find out like when it actually came out, you're like, wow.
And how about this? The Beastie Boys' second album, Paul's Boutique, released the same year as
Whoa.
Nine Inch Nails.
What I think is interesting about Pretty
Mother's
Hate
Milk.
Machine and how dark it is, and it's all Trent Reznor, and just how dark in that industrial,
it was an older woman who changed
music.
him.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
But then he goes on to score Pixar movies and video games and stuff.
Wins an Oscar.
And has a long career, a continuing career in the music business.
It's kind of like Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you'd never think of him scoring, one movie soundtrack after another, and yet any animated film, you're most likely going to see Mark Mothersbaugh as being behind the music.
Danny Elfman.
Another one.
Another Boingo Boingo takes that and runs with it and winds up having. He just did this thing where was it not at Lollapalooza? What was the big
Coachella?
Was it Coachella or was it the one that's up in Tennessee? Is that Burning Man?
No, Burning Man is out west.
No, no.
Oh, I was thinking Hootie something.
The big that C-Lane and Sabrina go to every year?
I know because I've wanted to go.
He just recreated a lot of his movie soundtracks on stage with a full orchestra in front of a crowd that was there for music like that, like it with visuals and everything. You should look it up. It's crazy. Elfman's still killing it. He's in his 60s, like mid-60s.
Bonnaroo.
Thank you, Jack.
I think that's where he was, but check that out on YouTube. It's pretty cool. Ross, what do you got for us, buddy?
Man.
Good choice, by the way, Jack.
Yeah, thank you, Jack.
There is a entertainer that has just recently in these last couple of months skyrocketed, I think, to being on my Rushmore.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Of comedy.
Oh, Big Daddy.
Of entertainment.
That's very sweet of you.
It doesn't even rhyme with your name.
Okay. It doesn't rhyme with Big Daddy?
Doesn't even come close.
Okay.
Not even the same amount of syllables, but my God, you guys have the same initials.
Johnny Carson?
No. That's like he's on my Rushmore. But there's a speech that this entertainer did.
Jim Carrey?
In 1991.
Oh.
On creativity in management. I have watched this. I have a feeling I'm going to watch this video. It is 37 minutes long. I'm going to watch this video once a year. John Cleese.
John Cleese.
Okay.
John Cleese did a speech for Video Arts, which I have no idea what it is or anything. I just stumbled upon it, and it is a face melter of inspiration when it comes to creativity.
Yep. Wow, that's crazy. That's
so
cool.
I watched it not too long ago, and now I'm back here telling you guys to also give this a gander and watch a true master of writing and
performing.
Performing in general.
For the generation that doesn't know about Monty Python, I mean, it's that is. I mean, you talking about a comedy troupe that push the edge of the edge. I mean, if you read the story of how that thing got going and how it kept going, it's just bananas, man.
Well, and Faulty Towers.
Right,
Don't
yeah.
sleep on Faulty Towers if you're a John Cleese fan.
And essentially, this has virtually nothing to do with Monty Python.
Yeah, really.
This is just him talking about creativity and about creative people and what it takes.
Got it. That sounds fun, man. 37 minutes.
37 minutes. John Cleese just dropping knowledge bombs.
Oh, so we'll put that on the master list of what you do that's new. That you can just click right through and check it out.
Yep.
And if you have any bone of creativity, I cannot, suggest this enough.
Cool. I know that we got to get out of here, but the Norm Macdonald thing, I guess, is dropping soon.
Yeah.
And they did another thing, I think it's Conan O'Brien, it's Molly Shannon, David Spade, Adam Sandler, and somebody else. I want to say it maybe Chris Rock, and they all got together and told stories about Norm after that, and they filmed that. And I've seen the first kind of couple of those, and they're so good. So I know that's coming out soon. I'll be checking that out. All right, we'll get at What'd You Do This New Master List is at JimColbertLive.com. You can check all of that out and see what we like. Back in a second with more of The Jim Colbert Show.
What you do that's new, brought to you by Glenn Klossman, KLAUSMANLAW.com. Proudly sponsored since day one by Glenn Klossman, KlossmanLaw.com.
From the Klossman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Klossman Law, KlossmanLaw.com.
We're still seeing a slow ride heading west on I-4 at this hour between Worrell Drive and Osceola Polk Line Road, eastbound steady 2 between 536 and Central Florida Parkway, and also between U.S. Highway 27 and Polk County to 429. Officials working to clear a crash on Colonial Drive at Powers Drive. Blockage reported with this one. The 408 up to speed. See traffic problems? Call the traffic tip line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center. I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey, DQ fans, make sure to cast your vote for the official combo meal of MLB at DQ.com. With Tim Anderson's Burger and Blizzard Meal and Bryce Harper's Burger and Blizzard Meal, you just have to try both. Vote for your favorite at DQ.com. Happy tastes good.
Guys, here in Central Florida, you better have an AC company you can lean on every single time something happens with your AC, because in the summer here, it is brutal. It'll run you out of your house. Leon Mills knows that over at Mills Air, and that's why he went out on his own 30 years ago to do it with honesty and integrity, and that's exactly what he does. Over 60 vans to cover you wherever you are in Central Florida, and the great techs, man. The techs that he hires are the absolute best. Not only are they nice people, they really know this business inside and out, can get you back to cooling in no time, and they happen to be Carrier Factory authorized dealers, and that can get you up to $1,275 in rebates towards a brand new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to Mills Air. They're family owned and operated and ready to help you right now. 407-277-1159. Online, it's easy. MillsAir.com.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
Want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Owen. I'm a cigarette.
Do you like being a cigarette?
No, I don't. Not really into killing thousands of people. Sorry, no filter.
Right.
What's your sign?
Pisces?
I'm a Cancer. Cigarette joke. But seriously, I do cause cancer. And heart disease. And strokes. I could go on forever. Unlike the people who smoke me.
The average smoker lives 10 years less than non-smokers. Quit today. Find out how at tobaccofreeflorida.com.
The job market is competitive right now, so you need to be competitive to attract top talent. If you're trying to fill open positions at your business, iHeartMedia is here to help. Use radio and digital targeting to find fresh, passive candidates currently in the workforce. These candidates are listening right now, looking for new opportunities. Together, we can let the community know you're hiring. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
The automotive supply issue has caused a shortage of cars across the industry. Due to this, the resale value of used cars has skyrocketed, and consumers are cashing in big by selling their cars. CarSaver.com from Walmart helps you get top dollar for your used car in just minutes. It's easy. Just go to CarSaver.com/sell. Enter your car's details, get an instant cash offer, and get paid instantly. We'll even pick up your car. Don't wait. Get max value for your car today. Visit CarSaver.com/sell.
There's never been a better time to get a pair of gorgeous diamond stud earrings than right now at International Diamond Center. Listen to this. Now, for a limited time, you can get an extra 20% 20% off all diamond stud earrings and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. Let's say that again. You can get a pair of perfectly matched diamond stud earrings, take an extra 20% off IDC's already low price, and spread your payments out over 5 years without paying a dime in interest. IDC's selection of diamond studs has never been better. Hundreds and hundreds of 2 and 4 carat pairs of studs in stock now. Come and upgrade from 1 carat to 2 carats or from 2 carats to 4 carats. With an offer like this, it's easy to splurge. Imagine a $6,000 pair of diamond studs. Take 20% off the top, then spread the rest over 5 years. That comes to just $80 a month. A $10,000 pair of diamond studs, after the markdown, gets you to $135 a month. Don't miss the biggest sale ever on diamond stud earrings. Now through June 30th only, and only at International Diamond Center.
Unapproved credit. Get this. Joey and me were supposed to go to this concert next week, right? But then something terrible happened. Joey was driving without a seatbelt. But he didn't wreck. No, he got pulled over. Now Joey has to pay for a seatbelt ticket instead of a concert ticket, and I have to go by myself. How lame is that? So Joey, if you're out there, you're an idiot. Wear your seatbelt or you'll get a ticket.
All across the country, cops are cracking down. Click it or ticket, day and night.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
The podcast Wheel Woman tells the true story of Georgia Durrani, all-American girl, world-famous model, and getaway driver for the mob. Wheel Woman takes you on a thrilling ride through the unlikely life of one beautiful, smart, fascinating woman.
The rules were simple. Don't talk to anyone. Don't ask questions. Always park a block away. Make sure you're not being followed.
Listen to Wheel Woman on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Search, browse, and email privately, all for free with the DuckDuckGo app.
You've trusted Cars for Kids with your car donations for over 2 decades. Now Cars for Kids can help with your property donations too. If you're spending money on a property you don't use or hassling with out-of-state properties, donate to Cars for Kids instead. It's simple and easy. They will take over all taxes, maintenance, and insurance obligations. Best of all, you'll receive a tax deduction for the full appraised value of your property. To donate, visit carsforkidsrealestate.org or call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS today to learn more. That's CARS with a K.
Available now from iHeart, returning for Season 3, is The Restless Ones, an original podcast presented by T-Mobile for Business and iHeartRadio. Join me as I sit down for in-depth discussions with the people at the intersection of technology and business. You'll learn how each of these leaders is building a bridge to what's next and leveraging transformative technologies like 5G to create a more connected and meaningful future today. Listen to The Restless Ones on the iHeartRadio app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
Oh my God, I found my favorite station. Yes. Oh my God. I would like to make a request to hear Do We Have a Problem by Nicki Minaj featuring Little Baby. Thank you guys so much. I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Got that coming up in just a few minutes. So stay tuned right here to Real Radio 104.1, your leader for hip-hop in Central Florida.
Come on, Jack Flash.
All right, welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. You're listening to the Jim Colbert Show right here on Real Radio.
But real quick, that Nicki Minaj, Little Baby, I mean,
it's for real.
It's slapping.
Yeah, it's slapping. Right.
So, real quick, that's not the only one we had requesting that song. We had actually 2 different talkbacks requesting that song.
Really?
You know why, though, right?
I do not.
Well, don't we have a hip hop station on the digital second part of
We
our
do. The beat.
Oh.
Yeah, the beat is 104, right?
104.5. 104.5, the beat.
It plays on our translator is 104.1 digital 2, right?
Yep, HD2.
Look at that. Jim cracked the code.
All
The
right.
Da Vinci Code.
Smart guy, man. All right, 407, Big Daddy.
Way to go, Big Daddy.
That's what happened.
Actually, I think that was a Puzzle Master.
All
who
right.
figured that one
Puzzle
out.
Master.
I'm down with Puzzle Master.
It's hard to keep them apart, you know?
Come on, Ross. Join the team.
Such dominant person.
Not calling that guy Big Daddy.
All right, 407
Oh, yeah, you are.
916 1041.
Go for it. It only hurts once.
Right. For the right money.
Hi, this is Lena, and I would like to hear Do We Have a Problem by Nicki Minaj
Damn.
featuring Lil Baby. Thank you.
Nicki's turning it up. Never was a big Nicki Minaj fan.
I'm not either, but Little Baby kind of helps.
Today is actually the birthday of one of my favorite female rappers that nobody knows about because
Eve?
she's such a maniac. Nobody will deal with her. Azalea Banks.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of her? The 212, Azalea Banks? What?
Azalea Banks.
Oh, you lost cred with them.
What? What's wrong with Azalea Banks?
Wait, let me look it up.
Oh, yeah, you got to be. It's something different because, look, 212.
If it's who I'm thinking of, it's like,
It's
no,
not.
She's actually a sweetheart.
Man,
Glenn and I had her in studio on our hip hop cast.
Then you did not meet her because she is not a sweetheart. She is not cool. All right, 407-916-1041. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this situation in Texas. There are a number of issues with the shooting. Obviously, the gun issue is an issue that's being handled now. Let's talk about something else with this, okay? Because this has been handled different ways for different situations. And the question is what to do with the school now? All right? I saw a story today, if I could ever get past this ad from T-Mobile. I saw the story today that President Joe Biden, had possibly discussed razing the entire school. In other words, tearing it down completely and then rebuilding it. And that has happened before. There have been schools that were shootings, and they did tear them down and rebuild them.
Specifically, Sandy Hook.
Yes.
Yeah, but that is the exception though, because in Columbine they closed the school for a year and then redesigned it and went back.
Well, they're actually still considering closing Columbine because one of the big issues that they're having isn't the memories of the school shooting. It's the tourists who show up by busloads. And I'm talking about those tour buses that you rent pulling up to the high school, taking photos of where, one of America's worst school shootings ever took place. It's the tourists causing the problem for Columbine.
So with Columbine, they destroyed the library because apparently that's where most of the shooting went down, is in the library. They destroyed that and they built a new library and replaced it with that. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, they returned to campus 2 weeks after, but the school's building 12, where most of the victims were killed, was closed off behind emergency tape and then I think later replaced with temporary classrooms after being destroyed. Santa Fe High School, 10 victims there. And let's see. Yeah, they went back. They said, let me see. Hold on one second. This is the one they don't really say whether or not they tore it down or not. Even though there were only 2 days left in the school year, they didn't want her high school career to end with a massacre. I don't know if we'll ever be ready to go back to school, so they haven't decided what they're doing with that one. But, this is an interesting issue here with the idea of doing this. These schools are not cheap to build. $2 or $3 or $4, $5, $10, $8, $20 million to build these things, whatever the case may be. And
especially in a town, only 16,000 people, I can't imagine that the tax base is such that, they can quickly make up that kind of money.
Yeah, I don't know either. All I know is you obviously had that situation where the kids, the trauma was there, and it was not good, obviously. And then you have a situation now where parents and kids don't want to go back to the school because they're terrified of it.
Teachers.
And you can't, there's nothing you can do to explain that away. And you can't wait a class. You can't go, well, next year's class won't remember.
Right.
It's going to be everywhere. You can't say, well, in 2 years they won't know. And what's going to happen? They're immediately going to walk into the school and then go right to the classroom where it all happened. I say the one advantage to the one that happened in Texas, there's no advantage. I shouldn't have even said that. But in regards to this topic, the one thing that they would have going for them is everything did happen in one class. They could theoretically tear that down and rebuild that the way they did with Columbine's library and still use the structure.
There were 2 classrooms, I believe, that they're connected. Classrooms 111 and 112, I believe.
So either way, it would be containable. It's not. Right. It's not the entire. It's not like somebody ran throughout the school and like a Scream movie and killed somebody in every hall and every classroom. What do you guys think about that? Like if this happened and your kids were there, or whatever, would you want the school to open or would you want it to close? And if closed, what would happen? What would they build there? I mean, you're talking about this Miami. Was it the Miami Gardens, the tower down there that fell? What was the name of that tower that fell in Miami?
Oh, the Surfside.
Yeah, the Surfside. There you go.
Yeah, the Champlain Tower South.
So 300 people?
98 people, and it just sold for 120 million people. They're still talking about some kind of a memorial plaque, but the idea that they're going to let beachside property just...
Sure. Kind of my point here is is that, that building had a story, but it was demolished. You couldn't live in it. So they didn't really have a choice there. They had to do that.
Right.
But they didn't tear down the hotel. They didn't tear down the MGM.
Well, look at Pulse. I mean, Pulse is being turned into a memorial.
Right, it is. I mean, it is.
Whereas, Las Vegas is not.
So, I mean, explain, I guess, is it because it's kids? Is that what it is? Because it's kids?
I think, especially when you are talking about kids of that age, it's a particularly heinous, crime. I mean, murder's murder, and across the board, it's unacceptable. But there's something about the defenseless children in a place that should be a safe place. It's just so
I know, and it's the
wrenching.
It's the context of it, Jack. Because let me tell you, there was a wreck. Where was the big car crash that killed all the kids from the sports team recently? Was it a soccer team or a tennis team or something? And it was like maybe 10 or 12 of them passed away in this wreck.
Yeah, it was somewhere in the southeast. Right?
None of those kids or their parents aren't ever going to ride on a bus again or take that road. Everybody's going to do that. If you're still going to take that road, you're still going to ride on a bus. If somebody passes in a plane, chances are throughout your life, unless you're really dedicated to that, you're going to fly again. So, and again, not trying to be callous here, just trying to understand the big picture. Like, what would make you?
There's a different feeling between a brazen act like this and then an accident.
Yeah, no question.
I believe, but this isn't too dissimilar from. We're talking about the iDrive attraction and what should happen to that following an accident, and that debate continues as well as how do you remember these people? But with the school, kids have to go there and learn. And I know following Sandy Hook, I believe that the kids had a code word if they started to feel
uncomfortable or
anxious. I know there was a code word that they would use where then they could be removed from the class and they could have an adult, help them process what they were feeling. If they were having images or bad thoughts about, what had happened.
And for me, that's the concern with it's not the expense of building a new school building. It's the ask on the students and the teachers that survived being able to go back into that building and really put their heads to going back to school and learning and teaching and the PTSD that they're going to walk into any building with.
Listen.
But that particular building, I don't know if a change of paint colors and design of classrooms would be enough to make those little kids feel safe going back. But then I don't know if any school would make them feel safe.
So sympathetic to it, but if somebody did that in this building, like, I don't know that I'd want to come back in these studios if it happened here. Just again, for what you just said, the idea of the memories of what happened in the space here, and maybe a redesign where it's unfamiliar to you when you walk through may help some. But the problem is we're adults, and we, logically we understand certain things here, but with kids and that natural curiosity and that natural morbidity of those kids, especially some of them being just complete douchebags, you can see where it would be a constant source of, I
could see it causing all kinds of behavioral problems.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Acting out, and
it would be a constant source of distraction.
Stress.
Yeah.
That's what it would be. Regardless of how you rebuilt that room, people would go to, let's say they turned it into a playground or a safe space. Somebody's going to go to where that room was and go, hey, right here where I'm standing in this, sand pit or where this swing is or whatever, this is where it really happened. It's going to happen. So you figure out how do you mitigate that issue when you're looking at rebuilding an entire school with a cost to the community. I don't know if there is a federal grant for this or how that money or where that comes from. And money's obviously not the issue here. The how comfortable the kids can be,
right,
and the teachers for that matter. I mean, that's
And I think that's where you have to start going forward, is to ask that community if that's too big of an ask for the teachers and the students to go back into that building and really be able to take care of the work at hand, which is learning and being educated. And I don't know if something like that happened in this building, you could change the paint color all you want, but if the view out the window is still going to be the same, it's going to trigger.
Yeah.
And we don't even know. We're coming from such a place of not really knowing.
You remember that RV repair shop that got shot up here about 4 or 5, 6 years ago? A disgruntled employee walks back in and kills like 4 or 5, 6 people, then kills himself. I mean, that guy owns a business. I mean, he can't, just because something like that happened in there, he can't pick up and move. They can't just raise that building because something like that happened there. What do you do, though? But if I was an employee there, who'd want to go back there? I'd be standing there in the same place where the dude next to me got rifled. Like, that's, I mean, and again, you want to believe that you could just kind of get beyond that because they say, time heals everything. But, man, to tell that to kids, when they have already that natural curiosity about that, and they're, at that age, they're starting to kind of understand life and death and where that comes from. All right, 407-916-1041. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good, brother.
So, personally, I work in a school, and I'm hearing this on the way home. Actually, I heard it from you guys first, that what transpired, and I can't imagine having to go through that. However, I think that, that it's going to happen anywhere you are. Like, people are going out, like, who has died there before. But I think one of the best things to do would, of course, be console with the community members. But really, I mean, it could turn into a great opportunity to start the topic of mental health at such, at that age when kids are learning and developing. I think that it could be a great opportunity for that.
Yeah, thanks for your call, buddy.
Memorial.
I kind of agree with that. I don't know about a memorial fully, but I don't know. Yeah, you saw that case about that kid being pulled out of the classroom, or is he 5th grader was arrested?
There was a couple of arrests over the weekend of school threats here in Florida.
Yeah, the one
was a 5th grader.
Is 10 years old. He Instagram or tweeted out a picture of 2 ARs and said "get ready" or something like that. They arrested that kid, and when in the headline I read today said Florida cops arrest 10-year-old or whatever, and trying to make it sound salacious, right? I was like, no. They should have drug him by his feet in front of the class across the parking lot, the hot effing parking lot, and let everybody see him fight to drag his fingernails off to keep from being thrown overhand into that cop car.
And to tell you the truth, I don't believe the person who wrote that headline would disagree with you, but they know wording it like that, you're more likely to say, what the hell happened? Why are they arrested a 10-year-old?
Oh, man, when I read why, I was like, yeah baby, set the tone. That's what you do.
That's one of those where you start, you read the title and you're like, you have one opinion and you read it and you're like, oh, wait, yeah, I'm on this side.
Oh, yeah, by his hair.
Yeah.
Pull him out by his hair. I don't give a damn. Set an example. My God, man. How many more times do we have to wait till somebody tells everybody on Facebook or Instagram they're going to blow people away and sit and wait? And then while they're doing it, wait. Like, how many more times do you have to do that before somebody just goes, hey, this guy put a picture of a gun on there and said some sideways S that we have to pay attention to. Drag them out of their houses by their hair in front of their parents and stomp them out if they're doing something stupid. Jesus, man, set a tone.
I think you just did.
Don't put them in timeout. If these guys even hint that they're going to do something like this, throw them in jail immediately and then figure it out. Don't wait so you hurt his feelings and they can walk off and do something stupid. Jesus. Like we said it before. Was it Maya Angelou that said that? I've said it before, but I think she's the one who coined it. When somebody tells you who they are, pay attention.
Yeah, when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them.
I believe them. Like I've told you before, these people want you to know they're going to do this. Usually it's part of their big manifesto. They're doing it so you pay attention. It's the goal. Anyway, all right, 407-916-1041. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Simmer down.
Real radio is Real Music Weekends. Real Music Weekends, this weekend on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by attorney Mo DeWitt. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com.
Hi, everybody. Good Tuesday to you. Fox 35 Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Jamie King with your Central Florida weather forecast update from the Fox 35 Storm Center. Hot and humid today. I've got rain chances at around the 30% range. Rather limited today. The highest chance will be around the theme parks and areas to the west, closer to Tampa as we get to the afternoon hours. Chances there at about 50% plus. Hot, humid conditions again. Hot highs in the low 90s. East winds at 5 to 15. For tonight, 71. Warm and muggy. Scattered clouds. Dry overnight with east winds at 5. For Fox 35, I'm Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Jamie King. Take care.
This report is sponsored by Amtrak. Gas prices are high, so ride Amtrak and fuel your adventurous side without breaking your travel budget. Amtrak gets you there with more money in your wallet. Book in advance and save up to 20% at Amtrak.com. Restrictions and exclusions apply.
Look, man, when it comes to getting a new bathroom, there's one company in town I know for a fact that you can trust to get you a beautiful bathroom, do it in a timely manner, and give you products that you can believe in. And that is Rebath in Mid-Florida. And by the way, don't be fooled. There are people out there saying they're affiliated with Rebath. You need to do your research because there are a company out there that are leaning on the great reputation that Rebath has and then not delivering that kind of service. Don't get fooled. Make sure it's an actual Rebath store like our friends over at Rebath in Mid-Florida before you spend your money or pay attention because they're going to do you wrong. Rebath would not ever do that to you. Great products. Unbelievable products, natural stone, travertine, marble, all those beautiful colors, and they handle everything. Tubs, towers, showers, or tubs, a tile, shower, toilets, it's all right there. Once you hire these guys, you meet with their design team, come up with a design that you absolutely love using their incredible products. They install it in 4 to 6 days with their employees, and they give you a lifetime guarantee on the products and the install. You simply cannot lose with the great people over at Rebath in Mid-Florida. Hop on board today and book your appointment at rebathmidfla.com.
Nothing makes a good night bad or bad night worse than hitting up a drive-thru and getting served cold, tired fries. Golden, more like soggy arches. Tonight, make it Wendy's, where fries are hot and crispy, not cold and soggy. They're also preferred over McDonald's, almost 2 to 1. End the night on a good fry. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's late night.
Taste test preference based on a national taste test by an independent research company. Hours may vary by location.
Look at the shower. You see a problem?
I know what the problem is.
What do you see?
Low water pressure.
It's a dribble.
It's more than a dribble.
And what's it say on my shampoo bottle?
Rinse and repeat.
How can I rinse and repeat when I can't even rinse in the first place?
Well,
we are calling Repipe Specialists.
I'll go call a
Stop.
plumber.
No plumbers and pay twice as much? We're going to fix it now by getting Repipe Specialists to repipe the whole house.
You're right.
Oh, look. Someone forgot to flush.
I did not. No,
That's
don't.
another reason. Leaks. I'm tired of leaks.
Got leaks or low water pressure? Want to prevent future problems? In 1 to 2 days, Repipe Specialists can repipe your whole house with new copper piping or PEX tubing for about half the price of a plumber. No more leaks, no more dribbles, and you get a lifetime warranty. Call 407-449-8973 for a free in-home estimate. Plus, pay no money down and no payments or interest for a year. That's 407-449-8973. Call today, 407-449-8973, or visit repipe.com.
O'Reilly. Get ready for summer vacation now at O'Reilly Auto Parts with up to a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate when you purchase select Superstart batteries. With the power, performance, and reliability your vehicle demands, Superstart batteries are made to deliver long life and consistent starts. Superstart batteries only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Having trouble with your AC? Call our friends at Mills Air, 407-277-1159. With 30 years of experience, they can certainly help you out. Carrier factory authorized dealers with up to $1,275 in rebates towards that brand new Carrier unit. Family owned and operated, it's millsair.com.
Hey everybody, this is Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth.
And Ryan from the Monsters in the Morning. And Scott, I got a question, okay? Do you judge people when they come to you as a financial advisor and you see, their financial situation for retirement?
I would never judge people. You, on the other hand.
Oh, you judge me?
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah, you probably should. I make terrible financial decisions. That's why I work with you.
Tune in to It's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth, Sunday mornings at 7 on Real Radio 104.1. Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Edgewater Family Wealth is not a broker-dealer, is independent of RJFS.
Car crash? Call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Instagram. It's not just about food pics, but it's more. Exclusive food picks at Real Radio 1041. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show. Also available to watch at The Jim Colbert Show on Twitch.
Hey, Jim. I went to Sanford this weekend for the first time. Got to experience Chantel's, and what a great little experience that was.
Nice.
Got to meet her, told her I'd heard her on your interview several months ago, and she was serving hummingbird cake.
That's right.
Told her how much you loved it. You should get in touch with her. What a wonderful woman, and what a great show you have, Big Daddy.
Ah, there you go. That's how you do it. Chantel's Justin Till out in Sanford. I got to tell you, dude, I've been doing a lot of Sanfording. Have a good ass time down in Sanford.
You gonna move there?
I'm gonna move. I mean, close enough now. I only live like 15 minutes away, 20 minutes away. So it's like right up the street. But man, cool little spot out there. And that Chantel's Justin Till, a little southern kind of Creole, Caribbean kind of fusion thing happening there. And best grits in Orlando.
Oh,
she makes them with coconut milk. Not that I told you the secret, but that's oh my God, they're so good. A little crowd out there the other day too. We drove by and everybody's sitting outside, nice weather in the evening, having something nice to drink, some food. Pretty good deal. All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. I know we were talking about the thing with the school for sure, but Jack, I know that the Monsters have a big event coming up here pretty soon as well.
This Saturday, it happens. It's the Monster Hatchet, the inaugural Monster Hatchet tournament. Homelands Radio.
How did this come about? How did this hatchet thing come about? Did Russ find out he was good at it?
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. He went hatchet throwing and got a knack for it and turned it into something?
There's one in his neighborhood. It's called the Axe Hole.
Oh, that's cool.
And he went there and had a really good time.
Now he has his own, personalized hatchet.
It's almost like Jim Phillips. You find a hobby you like, then you quickly buy all the things you need.
Absolutely.
And you buy the good stuff, too.
Right.
And so then the Monsters did a broadcast from out there, and Russ crushed the competition, which is everyone else on the show.
Uh-huh.
And don't forget that, Angelique beat Ryan that day, too. Also,
had to get that in, didn't you?
Yeah. And so the event went well. They wanted to do one for the fans, and it's this Saturday.
Very cool.
And you can actually be a part of the competition where the winner gets an axe and the belt. They had this championship belt made, of course.
That doesn't sound like Rollins.
Not at all.
Wrestling belt for everything.
So it's this Saturday, June 4th at the Axe Hole in Apopka. Tournament starts at noon. Plus, check this out. Live music from the band Fire Inside.
All right.
Carlos is having his pizza party, which he's been talking about having for many years.
All right.
And they'll also have a monster joint rolling contest.
What?
As well. Well, it's because there's a couple of businesses there. You got the Axel, you got Three Odd Guys Brewing, and you got the Smoke Exchange.
Okay.
Right? Apopka Pizza. And that mortgage guy, Don, is sponsoring it. But also, thanks to our good friend Steve White from Porky's Barbecue in Apopka, everyone who enters the Hatchet Tournament is also going to get lunch from Porky's.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's all happening in Apopka this Saturday.
Check it out.
Get the details. Go to realradio.fm/axe.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Good deal there, man. I love that.
I'll be there. It'll be fun.
Really? That's cool.
Yep.
All right, 407-916. They got beer?
Oh, they got beer. You got, the brewing, Three Odd Guys Brewing.
All right, 407-916-1041. Hey, David, how you doing? Welcome to the program.
Pretty good. How y'all doing?
Good.
It's unfortunate that young man lost his life on that ride over on our drive. But the world do not stop spinning. Life continues to go on. And too much of this stuff is happening. Someone lose their life. They want this torn down, that torn down. That's dumb. Okay? Bills are steady coming in. And there's enough blame to go around. A lot of these kids want what they want, when they want it, and how they want it. And a lot of times the parents sit back and don't say squat. So whoever owned this development, they need to keep it up. If anything, add more. Yes, you remember the young man that he lost his life, but that's as far as you can go. He's with the Lord. Now it's time for you to go on.
Yeah, man. I got to tell you, buddy, that is a real... Thanks, David. I appreciate your call, buddy. But that is a real tough situation because you want to be sympathetic to everyone involved, but in that same sense, like David said, the world does go on, and people have livelihoods, and one person made a very big mistake that day, and it cost someone their life, and that person's going to have to live with that for the remainder of theirs. And we, you hope it has an impact, and changes that person's life. If not, it's for naught, 407-916-1041. Ross, we're never going to talk to you about this school. What do you think, dude? And what we're talking about going on or carrying over from the last segment was, the school shooting in Uvalde. They're thinking about possibly raising that entire school because obviously the vibe is just simply not going to be the same on campus if they decide to reopen. Now, I mean, it's going into the summer, so there's no school anyway.
Right.
They have 3 months to figure out what they're going to do with this school, or they're going to have to combine those students with another school. What do you think should happen here?
I mean, if I was one of the parents, or if I was anybody affiliated, the first thing I would do is move.
Yeah.
But
You would, really?
Yeah. I'm not staying there.
So what if you were the governor? Let's say you're Governor Abbott there in Texas, and you have the power to raise this thing and build another school elsewhere. Do you do that? And if you don't, why don't you?
I would.
You would. You'd tear it down.
Any reason to build a new school it's never a bad time to build a new school.
Yeah, I don't know how old this one is. I mean, I don't know if that matters or whatever, how old it is.
I mean, it just, if you have a chance of, making another school, especially knowing that the one previously is truly just filled with tragedy.
Like cursed almost, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a distraction for the rest of it. Columbine, it's a distraction still to this day with tourism rolling by it.
Yeah, and the students in those classrooms weren't even there when it was the site of a school shooting.
And what's the first thing if you're put yourself in a high school student's shoes at Columbine this past year and you see a tour bus drive by and someone's taking a photo, you immediately think of why they are taking those photos.
Sure, yeah.
You'll never, that land, that building will never be looked at as the same. It will never be looked at as a school first and foremost. Only the location of where a tragedy took place.
That's a good point.
That is I got to tell you, I think if this was high school kids, oddly enough, I believe that you could tear that part of the school down, rebuild it into something, and move on. I think because this is elementary school kids, and I think they're considerably more impressionable, I think this is going to be a more difficult problem to solve. I would hate to see them tear the school down just because of just all the turmoil that's going to cause on top of everything they've already been through. Now starting a new school, possibly with new kids, as opposed to going back to the school and seeing the same kids they knew there from the year before.
I mean, you're going to see, I would think that they're not changing the districts.
They're not, but I mean, I don't know that. I mean, I don't know where they would build the school. I guess you're right there, but it's going to take them more than 3 months. They're going to be put out and have to combine with another school until it's built. You can't build a school like that in 3 months. It's probably going to take you 2 years. So now everybody who was going to go to Robb Elementary in that area is going to have to go to another school, which means those classrooms are going to be bigger, and those teachers are going to be more stressed. And then when those kids go into another school, what do you think the other kids are going to want to talk about?
Yeah. But
I mean, it's again, it's unavoidable. I mean, it's 9-year-old kids. I don't know if you've ever been around a 9-year-old. Guess what they do? They ask a lot of questions, a lot of questions. So you start now putting Robb Elementary School kids into another elementary school. All they're going to do is going to hear from the other kids. They're going to get picked on for it. They're going to get I don't know about made fun of. I don't know, but it's going to be a point of interest. I don't know if they're going to I don't know that you can have your own personality with that looming cloud hanging over you as an 8, 9, or 10-year-old. Then when you go in there, did you see him? What was he like? Did he say anything?
I think that's human nature, really.
It is, but what I'm saying is if it's the same kids at the same school, there's no reason to do that. Everybody already knows what happened.
Sandy Hook was torn down, correct?
Yes.
Sandy Hook is the only one I think they tore down. Columbine, like I said, they tore the library off. And when Parkland, they went back to school 2 weeks later. And again, Parkland's in high school. It's private, right?
No.
Parkland's not private. Marjorie Stoneman's?
No.
Not private. I thought it was for some reason.
And then, even then, they did what Columbine did, which was essentially take out that part of the high school.
Yeah, I think they closed that off, and then they're going to.
That's another thing too. Is look at the size of a high school compared to an elementary school.
I mean, there's no question. I mean, there's more vocation happening there. A lot of other possibilities other than just your.
I mean, how many kids went to this elementary school? 400 or 500?
I think it was 300, 350 or something like that.
Compared to a high school,
which could be the 6 or 7 8 schools are almost 1,000.
Yeah,
more
now.
Yeah, look at Parkland. I mean, there are several buildings that make up that high school campus. So I see what Ross is saying. On Parkland's campus, there's the ability to maybe avoid that area where the worst of the massacre took place. But in an elementary school that's so much smaller, it's one story, it's one building. You're always going to be walking by those reminders.
But they could destroy those 2 classrooms, and then and maybe even just put a storage area there that's sealed off always or whatever. And God, do you even put a plaque in there? Like if let's say you keep the school and you do that, you alter the school so those 2 classrooms are gone now, where most of the violence occurred, and you open the school back up. Do you put a plaque in there commemorating 19 kids who died and were shot in that school, or do you just kind of move on? And if you don't, what kind of feedback do you get there?
I think you do more like a garden or a community space like on campus there where the kids can gather, and stuff, like an outdoor thing maybe.
Right, like a garden.
Yeah.
Like a butterfly garden.
Wow, man. I don't know.
I think it's up to the community regardless. Yeah. I mean, we can sit and talk about what we think would be appropriate. I think what's important is the kids and the teachers who have to go back into that building and stay in that community because maybe they don't have the funds to rebuild or to move.
Well, it says the feds here would do it. It said the federal government would tear down Robb Elementary and pay to rebuild it.
Well, then that's worth it then.
Yeah, I think that's the answer.
Especially for little kids.
Is it perfect? No. There's no absolute savior of a choice when it comes to the outcome of this. It's that brutal of a tragedy. But out of the 2 options, rinse it, level it, and then just build another school.
I mean, again, you can make an argument for everything suggested today. You really could. But I think Deb's right. I mean, the teachers have to go back in there. I think they're the ones who I almost feel you almost have a bigger hole in your heart for, simply because they're just more cognizant of the realities of what happened. The kids are just bad guy with gun, and the teachers are. I think it's a little deeper than that.
Well, it's deeper than that because they're also the ones responsible for all those little lives. And you think of what your 2 colleagues.
And the one teacher was shot while locking the door.
So, I mean, the PTSD for every single member of that school having to walk back through those doors and face the school day.
And those kids will eventually leave that school.
Exactly.
Those teachers will not.
They will not. You're right.
That's a good point.
Man, the stories coming out of that thing of the response are absolutely unbelievable. Yet another one of these stories where you call into question every single bit of protocol of how this went down. And when I mean every single bit of protocol, every bit of it. Do we even know, does Florida have a statewide protocol for shooters that every school and every teacher has to be trained in or at least understand?
Don't know, but again, we saw in Parkland just a small taste of what we saw at Uvalde.
All right, 407-916-1041. Back in a second with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7. It's a corporate time with Tom and Dan, brought to you by Gringos Locos and SecuredRoofingAndRestoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mike, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
We're still looking at a stop-and-go ride heading west on I-4 between 417 and Osceola Polk Line Road. It's steady, too, between the Beach Line and State Road 536. Eastbound travel on I-4 is also slow between State Roads 536 and 535, as well as between Osceola Polk Line Road and 429. No reported problems at this time on the Turnpike. See traffic problems, call the traffic tip line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center. I'm Paige.
This report is sponsored by Amtrak. Gas prices are high, so ride Amtrak and fuel your adventurous side without breaking your travel budget. Amtrak gets you there with more money in your wallet. Book in advance and save up to 20% at Amtrak.com. Restrictions and exclusions apply.
Are you a rental property owner? If you are, you know you already do a lot of things yourself. But you know there are two things you can't do unless you hire the Realty Medics. Get real-time information on your properties and get an entire year's worth of rent up front. Yeah, only the Realty Medics offers upfront rent where you can get a year's worth paid upfront, putting $10,000 to $30,000 in your pocket fast. And they're the only company in Florida to offer upfront rent. But not only that, only the Realty Medics has the Property Performance Dashboard where you can track showings and applications, rent payments, and more. Just two more reasons why the Realty Medics are the highest rated and most reviewed property management company in Central Florida. And that's on some of the biggest platforms too, like Yelp, the Better Business Bureau, and Google. Take just 5 minutes on therealtymedics.com to see how they've made DIY landlording obsolete. And for a limited time, they'll even give you 2 months of management free when you use promo code FREE1041. That's therealtymedics.com, promo code FREE1041.
Let the Mossy family protect your family. It's more than just a slogan, it's a fact. A home with a fence is 5 times less likely to get broken into. You can count on the Mossy family to protect your family. Visit mossyoakfences.com.
Peak Performance is the smartest solution in the universe for men dealing with erectile dysfunction, or ED. So, we hired an equally smart guy who knows a thing or two about the universe to explain our treatment, an astrophysicist.
Peak Performance. Hi, I'm an astrophysicist. What makes Peak Performance the smartest ED solution is that it uses a revolutionary process called focused linear compression therapy. These short, comfortable treatments involve no pain, no surgery, no side effects, and are effective for over 80% of men.
Peak Performance. Very smart. Call Peak Performance today at 1-800-210-8181 for a free blood flow evaluation. That's 1-800-210-8181. Call 1-800-210-8181 or visit peakperformanceformen.com. Peak Performance. Man at his peak.
She was just 14, a normal, innocent girl. She was abducted from a convenience store. She suffered unspeakable abuse and was so violated she will never have children. She was eventually rescued from a dark basement. That she is me. Thankfully, the Lifeboat Project offers victims housing, healthcare, education, and assistance to help with the healing. Please give generously to thelifeboatproject.org. Human trafficking is real, and thelifeboatproject.org is real help.
The best offer ever is back at International Diamond Center. 5 years, zero interest financing on practically everything. That $3,000 Eternity Band is just $50 a month. Buy now and spread your payments over 5 years with zero interest. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets. Don't miss this limited time offer. Get that $6,000 designer ring and pay just $100 a month. We'll even finance the sales tax. Fine jewelry has never been more affordable at International Diamond Center.
Heard about higher interest rates? Not to worry at International Diamond Center. Right now, with any purchase, you can pay zero interest for 5 whole years. Engagement rings, wedding bands, designer fashion jewelry, pendants, earrings. Buy now and spread your payments out over 5 whole years with zero interest. How about a $10,000 designer ring for just $167 a month? Don't miss this amazing buying opportunity now for a limited time at International Diamond Center.
International Diamond Center, 4 Orlando locations on approved credit.
Spectrum is America's leading internet provider, delivering ultra-fast gig speeds you need on the high-performance network you want. And Spectrum's advanced home Wi-Fi is security made simple, automatically blocking outside threats, along with 99.9% network reliability. So no matter what you do online, you can do it faster, safer, and more reliably with Spectrum Internet. Get 200 megabits per second for only $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com today for details. Based on internet subscribers among top internet service providers. Restrictions apply.
A bounce check can be expensive. Why risk it when an Amscot cash advance could cost a lot less? Up to $500 on the spot with no credit check, and it won't hurt your credit rating. Amscot. Some restrictions apply.
Get ready for sunnier days with a Sunrise Batched Iced Coffee from Dunkin'. A bright and balanced iced coffee made from a blend of beans sourced from Kenya and Latin America to brighten every day a little more. Do more with Dunkin' Sunrise Batched Iced Coffee. Enjoy a medium for $2. America runs on Dunkin'. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.
If you ever need our help, we're just a call away. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind studio. Your accident, your future, your attorney. Contact them at whenyounneedus.com or call pound 546 from your cell. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. We are an iHeartRadio station. The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
Hey guys, I live down here in South Florida and I actually graduated from Stoneman Douglas back in 2005. The building still stands. It's roped off, but it's still there. You know, if you drive around the school or, you know, you got to run some errands, you'll still see it. It is roped off. It's kind of separated, but you can still see it from the road, and all the kids that are there, I mean, they have to live with it. It's still there, still standing.
All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show here on Real Radio. I am Jim. Deb is here with me.
Hello.
Jack is as well.
Good afternoon.
And so is Ross.
Let's ride.
All right.
Sometimes we just got to hog out, Jim.
Yeah, it's got to hog out sometimes.
He'll say that, but he won't call you Big Daddy.
Big Daddy knows we got to hog out.
Yeah. Easy.
I won't even talk about the not relationship. I shouldn't have said that. The conversation we just had in the bathroom.
With whom?
Nothing
With
is
Ross.
safe around here.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. I'm just saying you and I talk in the
Nothing is
bathroom.
sacred.
I'm not giving any of it up. I'm just saying, you know.
Well, now I feel like I gotta.
No,
feed
yeah,
you
you
guys.
do. Yeah, you do.
You don't have to
do.
say anything.
Hush.
I was at the urinal. He walked in. I went, "What's up, Big Daddy?" I was like, "Hey, it's different in the bathroom, isn't it?"
I said
have a
yes. Stall 3 and 5, or you're dead to me.
Stall 3 and 5,
Or you're dead to me. That's my favorite part.
All right, 407-916-1041. You know what the crazy thing? I was just talking to Ross in the bathroom. You just heard that.
Yeah.
And
That's the
what
crazy
else did
part.
you guys discuss?
Exactly.
So
How long were you in there?
I remember when Jack walked in on me on the bathroom. I was like next to the sink. I was just eating a sandwich
in the bathroom?
That's disgusting, dude.
That's what I said.
You eating a sandwich in the boys' bathroom?
I couldn't get peace anywhere.
I don't know.
Damn kids.
I don't know what it was. I think it was like a pesto panini, and I don't know. I just felt like, no, right here, right now.
What an odd bathroom food.
With a dash of fecal matter.
Yeah, just a little touch.
I don't know about that.
A mist.
Oh, yeah.
A misting.
Oh, yeah.
So my the thing with the school is interesting. Ross and I were talking about tearing it down. Ross fully believes you should tear it down, and that's not a bad thought. Again, you can't say no. That's the worst decision. You can see where people would want to do that.
And I especially feel that way because the federal government has came in and said we'll do this.
Just come in. They just came in. You don't have to say. The federal government came in.
What did I say?
You said has came.
Did he?
He did. Golf's just one of the things I could.
Were you buzzing?
No, I was buzzing. That was 2 for you.
Why 2? It was 1.
Well, you're challenging the buzzer.
Yeah, it's in the buzzer. The buzzer knows.
Big Daddy doesn't like that.
Yeah,
Put yourself down for 3.
The buzzer understands.
Give me that buzzer. Give me that buzzer.
Oh my God!
But the conversation was interesting.
This transformation's complete.
So I don't know how much it would cost to put high-level security systems on schools in America. I don't, but I can't imagine it's a whole lot more than building schools. You see what I'm saying? I mean, we can allocate money for so many different things.
But it's not just about that.
But I know, but to frivolously and so easily say, we'll just tear it down and build a new one. These are $12, $13, $14 million buildings. Are you going to do that for all of them? I mean, obviously you're not. We haven't. But, I mean, is that going to be the protocol now? If there's a shooting in a school, you tear it down and rebuild it? When that money could be used to create security systems for schools.
Right. Or you could rebuild it wherever there's a mass shooting, but the person who has to pay is actually the manufacturer of the weapons used.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. He bought them legally.
Sure. And used them illegally.
Yeah, he did. A lot of people use them illegally.
Yeah.
But he
that's the funny part of the argument, right? Is that, okay, we're not going to take care of not having them happen. We're just going to piss and moan about what we're going to do with the building after the fact. That's such the cart before the horse, and then wondering why you're not going anywhere.
I can't even think of any of these tragedies, any of these mass shootings that had guns bought illegally.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
if
the AR-15 is the one constant in all of them. They were, as far as I'm aware, purchased legally.
On his 18th birthday, he did it that day. And rounds. The other thing, too, if you're 18 and you go into a gun shop and you buy 2 weapons of that nature and then buy, 300 rounds? I mean, let me ask this question because I truthfully don't know this. I can only assume that you could still hunt with these rifles, correct? I mean, it's just a long rifle when you break it down. The word assault really applied to it. It's just a weapon. It's just a gun. No different than a 308 or a 30-06. It just looks different, but it still just fires a certain round.
Well, AR actually stands for, as I learned this weekend, the Armalite Company.
Right, it doesn't
so
stand
it
for
doesn't
assault
stand
rifle.
for assault rifle
Right.
at all. It stands for Armalite.
That term was just given to them. They're just weapons. I don't even think they refer to them as assault weapons in the military.
They are the preferred weapon of the military because of their efficiency, because of their kill ratio. I mean,
they're built to be lighter.
They're lighter. You get more bang for your buck, so to speak. And again, it is the singular element that ties all of these together. And when you look at the rate before the ban was in effect, after the ban was no longer in effect, it's a numbers game. And I know you speak, if nothing else, at least in data.
Yeah, for sure. There's no question. You got to look at the numbers because that tells you the truth, really.
Exactly.
So with that said, I was looking at some stats today in regards to the age of the people who do this, and I found it to be interesting. It's almost always younger people that do this. Then I started correlating when this started getting more frequently and correlating that with societal changes. Social media, video games that have first-person shooter as their thing. And the odd thing is, these have increased the most over the last, I think it's 8 to 10 years, if I remember. Again, this was a glancing blow at this information today, so don't hold me to a lot of it. I just don't remember this is kind of the excerpt I saw. You look at the thing from the 70s, the chart going across, and you get to the 2000s, and it starts ticking up. And then you get from 2010 on, and it skyrockets. It goes through the effing roof.
Internet.
Well, it was fascinating.
Social media.
I don't know if you had a chance to watch CBS Sunday Morning this past Sunday, but they did an extensive pre-60 minutes dive into the AR-15, into the first-person shooting games where the AR-15 is the firearm of choice. I believe it's in Call of Duty, where the controller literally shakes in your hand like what it would feel like to shoot an AR-15. So you take a generation of kids, bullying's always been around, but now you put the power in the victim's hands, right? That's my butt, that's that bully, that's that bully, that's that bully. And you create this obsession, this love affair with this retribution that they can have.
It's another layer to it, right?
It is.
It's a layer to it.
Not easy.
But I think you also can overlook the where we are as far as mental health with children, with the internet, and with the availability and having information on everywhere all of the time. It just raises the awareness of everything that's going on. And there is definitely, not to say that it's any excuse for a shooting, but I think as a mental health crisis with our youth, that has and can have a negative effect. And I think that's another layer to where we are today.
Because this shooter did not have mental illness.
You guys, let me ask you a quick question. You guys you guys play the games. I think you do the first-person shooter games more than Jack, or are you guys about the same?
I've done
on
that. I've played Call of Duty before.
I'm not a huge first-person shooter fan. I'm more of a Japanese role-playing game because I have to find the quest to pick up the Masamune.
That's problem. So we don't want to talk about that because that's even sadder than this other thing.
I got more gil than you.
So with that said, thank you. When did you start playing your shooter games? How old were you?
It was James Bond.
12,
GoldenEye?
GoldenEye. I would say GoldenEye.
Such a great game.
So 12, 13 years old?
Even younger.
Okay, so younger than that. Let me ask you a question. I was just talking to my wife about this morning. So we talk about the video game thing, and of course, when I saw that chart this morning, I was like, wow, that seems to be almost in line with the very high-quality first-person shooter games when they started to get released on all the major platforms, right? PlayStation, Nintendo. No, it's not. PlayStation, Xbox are the primary ones, right? And you have some first-persons that are PC games as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me ask you. You guys contend that it has nothing to do with that. All the studies show that it has nothing to do with that, right? That the school shootings, this new wave of youth violence has nothing to do with the fact that they're playing hour after hour after hour of games where they're killing people with fake guns, right?
I currently have no idea what this last shooter's did he play video games?
But you guys contend in general that it doesn't really have any effect, right? That
I'm not sure if I'm on board with it doesn't have any effect.
Okay, but Ross, you don't believe it does.
I do not believe so.
Okay, so let me ask you a question and stop right there because that way I can ask the question and you guys can answer it for me. If the person playing this game, right, also while playing it had to learn, half the dialogue was in French. Right? And after playing this game for 6 hours or 4 or 5 hours every day for, let's say, 2 or 3 years, would you say that somebody could learn the language, the French language?
I wouldn't think so.
You wouldn't think that you would pick it up at all? That after hearing somebody speak in French half the time you're playing a game, 4 hours a day, that just you wouldn't subconsciously pick up what some of those words meant? You wouldn't learn part of the language?
I know I wouldn't become fluent in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's nothing to compare it to.
Right.
So then I'm just putting my own definition behind words that I don't know.
Do you see my point? My point is, if we were to apply, let's say this, let's just use advertising then, right? So if you are playing these games every day, 4 hours a day, first-person shooter games, and in the context of the game, there were advertisements for Pepsi or for Apple or for whatever, Fruit Loops, who cares?
Yeah.
Right? They're advertising there for a reason, right? Because you're paying attention to it, you're playing it, you're exposed to the message, correct?
Yes.
So we could study and find out if the ads in the games actually caused an increase of purchase of those products. Could we not?
To see if the product sold more.
Yeah, to those people, to that demographic, the people playing video games and being exposed to that advertising within the game. Well, my thing is this. If the power of suggestion when it's purchased works, the power of suggestion if not purchased also works. Because the power of suggestion is what runs the business that we're in. The idea that I endorse a product that I deem fit for the people who listen to this show to purchase or use because I have vetted the people who do it is an idea that I'm talking about. So if you're watching these games all day, and if you can be suggested to buy a Pepsi by watching these games all day, and if they're played in French and or Spanish, and just by happenstance, because of repetition, you pick up of what 30 or 40 or 100 Spanish words mean because you play this game, you can't tell me then that the other message isn't being delivered either. You solve problems with a gun. You can't make one argument for a logic and not have the alternate argument for it. It would be very difficult for you to make an argument to me that these first-person shooter games haven't changed the mentality of some of these people who do this and some of the people burgeoning to do it. There's no way, because human nature is built on that idea. Capitalism in this country is built on that idea. Expose somebody to something enough that you can control, and they will jump in.
Now, do you think that is specifically for Americans?
I don't know. All I know is this. You can't tell me you can... Could you watch pornography 4 hours a day, 6 days a week, and not be affected by it?
I mean, you're going to be affected by it because you're spending time that you could have done an infinite amount of activities within those 4 hours.
But you see what I'm saying. If you watch hardcore pornography as a child, as a 13, 10-year-old, 12-year-old, the people playing these games, 17-year-old, if you watch that all day long, and let's say you can interact with it. Let's say it's first-person interaction. It's going to change the way you think about sex. If that can happen, this can happen. All right, 407-916-1041.
So you weren't the 10th caller and you didn't win the prize you wanted from your favorite radio station. Boo friggin' who. There's still a way for you to win. RealRadio.fm keyword contest. Somebody's got to win. Might as well be you.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Westbound travel on I-4 is stop and go between 417 and Osceola Polk Line Road. It's a solid ride too eastbound, approaching Osceola Polk Line Road out to 429. We're seeing heavy delays south on 429 between Sinclair Road and I-4. Some slow traffic too in the northbound direction. No reported issues at this time on 417 or the Beach Line. See traffic problems? Call the traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Welcome back to Wawa Siptopia, your handcrafted beverage happy place. Enjoy smoothies, refreshers, hot and iced lattes, or try the new frozen coffee and frozen refreshers. Wawa is your handcrafted beverage happy place. Gotta have a Wawa.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
Were you hurt in a vehicle and want compensation? When you're injured on the go, just call Mo. Did an accident leave you in need of representation? When you're injured on the go, just call Mo. When you're injured on the go, just call Mo.
Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney, sung by a non-attorney spokesperson.
Santo Family Moving and Storage is Central Florida's trusted source for local and long-distance moving. From packing to delivery, Santo Moving is fully licensed and insured to provide you a seamless moving experience so you can enjoy your new home in no time. Get a quote today at centomoving.com. Forget the stress, move with the best.
Get this. Joey and me were supposed to go to this concert next week, right? But then something terrible happened. Joey was driving without a seatbelt. But he didn't wreck. No, he got pulled over. Now Joey has to pay for a seatbelt ticket instead of a concert ticket, and I have to go by myself. How lame is that? So Joey, if you're out there, you're an idiot. Wear your seatbelt or you'll get a ticket.
All across the country, cops are cracking down. Click it or ticket, day and night.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Look at the shower. You see a problem?
I know what the problem is.
What do you see?
Low water pressure.
It's a dribble.
It's more than a dribble.
And what's it say on my shampoo bottle?
Rinse and repeat.
How can I rinse and repeat when I can't even rinse in the first place?
Well,
we are calling Repipe Specialists.
I'll go call a
Stop.
plumber.
No plumbers and pay twice as much? We're going to fix it now by getting Repipe Specialists to repipe the whole house.
You're right.
Oh, look. Someone forgot to flush.
I did not. No,
That's
don't.
another reason. Leaks. I'm tired of leaks.
Got leaks or low water pressure? Want to prevent future problems? In 1 to 2 days, Repipe Specialists can repipe your whole house with new copper piping or PAX tubing for about half the price of a plumber. No more leaks, no more dribbles, and you get a lifetime warranty. Call 407-449-8973 for a free in-home estimate. Plus, pay no money down and no payments or interest for a year. That's 407-449-8973. Call today, 407-449-8973, or visit repipe.com.
Peak Performance is the smartest solution in the universe for men dealing with erectile dysfunction, or ED. So, we hired an equally smart guy who knows a thing or two about the universe to explain our treatment, an astrophysicist.
Peak Performance. Hi, I'm an astrophysicist. What makes Peak Performance the smartest ED solution is that it uses a revolutionary process called focused linear compression therapy. These short, comfortable treatments involve no pain, no surgery, no side effects, and are effective for over 80% of men.
Peak Performance. Very smart. Call Peak Performance today at 1-800-210-8181 for a free blood flow evaluation. That's 1-800-210-8181. Call 1-800-210-8181 or visit peakperformanceformen.com. Peak Performance. Man at his peak.
Want to hear something that's going to make you feel better? Seeing your own primary care doctor, now just around the corner. At Village Medical at Walgreens. Our providers and care teams take care of you with same-day appointments, extended hours, and virtual visits, too. You get the comprehensive care you need when and where you want it. Experience exceptional care at Village Medical. Book your primary care appointment at villagemedical.com/getcare. That's villagemedical.com/getcare.
She was just 14, a normal, innocent girl. She was abducted from a convenience store. She suffered unspeakable abuse and was so violated she will never have children. She was eventually rescued from a dark basement. That she is me. Thankfully, the Lifeboat Project offers victims housing, healthcare, education, and assistance to help with the healing. Please give generously to the lifeboatproject.org. Human trafficking is real, and the lifeboatproject.org is real help.
O'Reilly.
If your vehicle squeals or grinds when you slow down or just isn't stopping like it used to, you may need new brake rotors and pads. Now through June 28th at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get 15% off a set of Brake Best Select or Import Direct brake pads and 2 rotors. Restore safe braking and save money now at O'Reilly Auto Parts or order online at O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's summertime and you're on the move. And now you can bring your favorite radio station, just like this one, with you wherever you're going. When you download the free iHeartRadio app, have something to say, tap the talkback mic and send a voice message. You might even end up on the radio. In the mood for music? Explore thousands of playlists to match your vibe, from summer to sleep and everything in between. And listen to the most popular podcasts on the planet, all for free. And all waiting for you now on the free iHeartRadio app. Discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love.
Order your Hummer EV at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade. This is the Jim Colbert Show. Also available on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Just search the Jim Colbert Show.
It's hard for me to buy into the whole bullying argument just because there's so many people that are bullied way more and way harsher than young white males that seem to be the ones that almost exclusively shoot up these schools. I just don't get it. I don't think bullying is the answer. I'm not sure what is. But, man, we got to do something. These kids are dying, and all we're doing is thoughts and prayers, and nothing is ever changing. Have a great day.
Yeah. I want to be sedated.
Yeah.
So let me ask, based on that guy's comment, I mean, when you see a movie or a television show, I mean, isn't the target of bullying almost always some kind of goofy-looking fat white kid with big fat glasses or something?
I mean,
isn't it like always some? I mean, you look back at the movies from the 80s and 90s. Isn't the targeting bully almost always a nerdy white kid with big glasses, primarily male? I mean, isn't that the stereotype of a person who gets bullied, right? I mean, now it's different, but I mean, back in the day when I was growing up, that was it. Your pencil neck geek is the guy who got bullied, the guy with the big thick glasses, the smart kid who wore the terrible clothes and was never in style.
Or in my case, the new kid.
Yeah, those are the people who got pushed around and bullied.
Yeah,
I never saw black kids get bullied in my school, or Spanish kids for that matter. I mean, of course, we didn't have a lot of Spanish kids. We had plenty of black kids in our school. Nobody bullied the black kids. There wasn't one. It was always white kids. Always young white males, dopey-looking white males who were socially awkward. That's it. That was the number one.
See, there's no one thing, though.
There isn't.
It's because two kids can be bullied, and whatever, and one kid might play video games. The other kid might have a dysfunctional family life. And, one kid might have mental illness. One kid might be addicted to whatever. It's this soup with all these different ingredients, and you don't know what one thing is going to be the figurative trigger for something like that.
And you're right, because what set this kid off? Right? You got into an argument with his mother about the Wi-Fi. Theoretically, that's what set him off, or his grandmother, about the Wi-Fi. Then he shoots her in the face. And by the way, do we know her status?
Yes, she's in good condition now.
Okay, so shot her in the face and then went crazy. But he did tweet about it or put it on Instagram? Facebook. So he did Facebook about it. So he said, I'm going to shoot my grandmother. And then he shot her and then said, I shot my grandmother, and now I'm going to shoot up a school. And that's exactly what he did. Young, white guy. Well, kind of white.
What was his name?
His name was...
it's not even important.
Yeah.
Well, his name is forgotten.
Yeah. All right, 407-916-1041. I still contend my argument has validity. I'm not saying it's right. It's a hypothesis. Well, but there are a lot of coincidences in my hypothesis.
With video games?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think there's a desensitization. I'm screwing that up.
How couldn't there be?
Yeah, but because they use it for training purposes as well, whether it is shooting and for military purposes, to get used to moving through an environment, with weapons and firing, or, for any other type of training. Computer and video training is done for a reason because it gives you a familiarity.
Well, just a little bit of background. The school police chief in Uvalde, who was in charge, is well trained on how to respond to an emergency. Records with the Texas Commission on Law Enforcement show Pete Arredondo completed an active shooter training course in December, the second time he took the class. The public file shows he passed the same course in 2020. Of course, Arredondo has not spoken publicly about his decision to handle last week's incident as a, quote, barricaded suspect. Barricaded suspect instead of an active shooter. That is still under investigation.
All right, 407-916-1041. Let's get to some of these calls here. Hey, Ben, how are you? Welcome to the program.
I'm doing pretty good, sir. How you doing?
Good, brother.
So I just want to say I've spent 4 years as an armorer in the Marine Corps, and I've taught many a Marine how to shoot, how to handle firearms. And the one thing that is honestly the most dangerous thing in the whole world when it comes to firearms is somebody that doesn't know what they're doing or know the consequences of their actions. And even with brand new Marines that, they've passed all their qualifications in shooting and this and that, you hand them a different weapon system than they're used to, and they start to do dumb things really fast.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. I mean, you obviously you were in the Marines. You just told us that. You were an armorer, so you dealt with these guns all the time. Were you a video game player when you were younger?
Off and on, but not really heavy. And I could see where the argument could be made where that desensitizes you.
Yeah.
But there's,
by the way,
other training that goes along with that.
Yeah, the two kids that were shooting at the cops, 3 or 4 or 5 months ago over in Daytona? Or as in Lake Helen, Deltona, that area?
Yeah.
Didn't they yell out something from Grand Theft Auto when that was happening?
Something like, I'm going to roll this bitch like GT.
Thanks, man. I appreciate your call.
And I mean, you make your own argument, but I don't believe it affects everyone the same. I mean, millions of people play video games.
Right.
Not everyone who plays video games shoots people up. Millions of people own weapons.
There you go. Millions of people own guns as well.
They don't do that, but there is a cocktail of life experience that leads some people to these extreme measures, and it seems to happen with young men more than any others.
It's the accessibility. I mean, that's what it is.
And that's the other component. And
the
it's
accessibility.
So, even without the weapon, though, that kid is a problem, right?
Without a doubt.
He's got that mindset. And would he go on to do something else? Maybe. Would it be less lethal? You would think so,
Yeah.
but you just don't know. But that is a problem. So it's two issues. It's when anyone can get weaponry that can do that damage, and it's also the fact that you have people in that frame of mind to start with, and that's something that needs to be addressed.
I would agree with that 1,000%. I mean, do I believe that an 18-year-old kid can walk into a gun store, buy 2 weapons of that nature and tons of rounds and have no questions being asked, have no idea what's going on? I feel like that now is probably in the forefront of how we look at who has the power like this. I mean, at 18, you cannot buy a beer.
Can't rent a car.
Can't rent a car. By the way, at 18, at 20, at 21, you cannot book a cruise by yourself.
Which is unbelievable because you can book an airline ticket.
At 21 years old, you cannot go on a cruise ship without somebody at least 25 years old with you.
See, I tend to lean towards those arguments on why things like this happening outside of video games.
Yeah, well, I'm not. Look, I think if there's a soup of things that can cause it, there's a soup of other issues and other answers as well.
Well, what's stirring it is an AR-15.
And part of that soup could be games like Grand Theft Auto and games like these other games where you're executing cops and it's part of the game. And, to say that you do that and it doesn't have an effect on you, I think is almost asinine. When we know for a fact that when you watch other input, things that other things can affect you like that, we almost expect it to. Like, there are other things that when you want people to watch, you expect it to change the way they feel or change the way they look at things. But you can't dial that up how it fits your narrative.
It seems like the way that you feel towards video games is kind of similar to the way that I look at murder documentaries.
Sure, it could be, yeah.
And the I think there's a huge difference, probably an agree to disagree between you and me when it comes to those two things.
Yeah, you don't dig it.
I don't think he understands the reasons why you and I dig it.
Check this out. You ready? They're fascinating.
Yeah.
They're beyond interesting, and they are thoroughly entertaining. But they are doing something in the back of my mind that goes, I don't know if we want this to be part of mainstream America, which is giving 2 4-hour documentaries and giving a massive amount of significance to the closest thing to evil that can walk on Earth.
You have a great argument there. I mean, what can I say to that? I can't say anything to it.
People have a hunger for significance, and they will do anything within their field. And if they don't have a field, I think they get a little desperate. When it comes to content, I can play a video game, you can play Call of Duty, and I do believe that user understands that none of this is real. But when you watch a long documentary or just a 10-episode miniseries about John Wayne Gacy, that's real.
Yeah, you're right, 100%.
And we're kind of almost not celebrating it, but we keep making them.
All right, 407-916-1041. Hey, Carson, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm good, man. How are you?
Good.
So I want to talk about your hypothesis on the repetition causing correlation. And what you're talking about is basically a Pavlovian response, but you have to look at all of the factors involved in that, right? I've been playing video games like Call of Duty my whole life, and it did impact me. I'll agree with you, it impacted me. It caused me to make a decision. When I turned 18, I joined the Army to go play Call of Duty in real life. That's what it made me want to do. But when you're playing these games, you're in battle zones. You're fighting against combatants and terrorists. You're not walking around malls and schools shooting at civilians. So I don't think that the imprint is that broad. It doesn't make you want to go shoot anyone.
I understand,
right?
but it did make you make a life decision.
It did. It made you seeing Pepsi 4 or 5 times, it makes you want to go, drink a Pepsi. But I think you have to attribute the other mental factors that are involved. You have to be able to look at someone's ability to differ between reality and fantasy. You have to look at their specific mental health and, like you said, the life that they have going on in their community.
But you just said yourself, you joined the Army to recreate the game experience that you had.
Correct. Now, if the game was me walking into schools and things, maybe it would have had a different impact, but I don't think it has that impact on these shooters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to look at the exact correlation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the fact that it had any
Carson.
impact at all, meaning and with you and how and your upbringing and everything that was important to you, that's the path you went on.
Sure.
But how does it affect other people? And for some people, we don't know what that one thing was that made them say, this is what I'm going to do today.
And by the way, I'm not dog because here's the thing. You can get inspiration to do things in your life from anything. You can watch a documentary and get inspired to make a change in your life, but you can't discount the fact that what I said is true. Watching those games made you make a decision, a life decision, a career life decision was based on a video game. So it does have an effect. How you process the information and what you do with it is different. I have to agree with that. But for the right people, in my mind, should not have access to games of that nature simply because they aren't prepared to deal with what they see on screen sometimes.
And I would think it's easier to determine whether or not they shouldn't get that game or should not get a gun.
Yeah, I would agree. You could literally use the same theory maybe. Who knows?
Number one overall draft pick is someone's deranged and they're playing a violent video game versus someone deranged buying a gun. I know which one out of those two I'd rather have.
I got you 100%. All right, 407-916-1041. Trying to squeeze these calls in. Got a ton. Hey, Chip, how you doing? Welcome to the program.
I'm good. I agree with your comment and your theory about the games. I think that a lot of people, some people rather, pick up what they pick up. A lot of it doesn't apply to everybody because there's other games that are out there, you pick up what registers to you. And I think like one game that I used to play was called Myst, and it helps you to develop your investigative abilities.
Yeah, it's a logic game.
I used to play Diablo for years and wasted years of my life. But I don't pick up a gun and go shooting a school up.
Mm-hmm.
You choose to take away what you take away, and a lot of times, I think because of the fact that you've grown up to a certain age, you know what's real and what's not real. But this whole issue is widely. There's so many different, like Jack said earlier, it's a soup. There are so many ingredients in this thing. There's not one answer.
There isn't, buddy.
It's going to take a long time to pick it apart.
And it's almost arrogant. Thank you for your call, by the way. Almost arrogant to sit here and take calls thinking that a silly talk show in Orlando, Florida can whittle down what the issue is. But, listening to different ideas is where you really get the really good ideas. It's a culmination. You talk about the problem being the soup. Well, the answer can be a soup as well.
Yeah, and what's not the answer is shutting ideas down. Like Deb mentioned the assault weapons ban and the number of mass shootings at that time, and since it expired, and someone texted, well, Columbine happened during that time. Yeah, there's always that detractor to say, well, whatever solution you're proposing, it wouldn't have solved this, A or B or C. And there isn't a magic pill solution that solves everything. Not every mass shooting is an assault rifle, right?
No,
sometimes it's handguns.
Well, the Asian guy who did it on the campus at Texas Tech or something did it with all handguns.
Not every mass shooter has a high capacity magazine.
Not every
or
mass
the bump
shooter.
stock.
No, not every mass shooter even had a motive. I mean, the guy in Vegas, nobody even knows still why that happened.
I was going to say, not every mass shooter is an 18-year-old kid.
Right.
He was
He was an older guy.
50s.
But God forbid we aim for less.
Let me take this.
And what we know, we can argue each other into doing nothing, which is what we do every time, which has not improved the situation.
It has
not at all.
One last call here. Robert, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jimmy. So I think it's the sign of a very weak society when you blame art for the issues happening in that society. Right now it's video games, but before it was NWA lyrics, teaching disrespect for police officers in the 80s. It was violent movies. If it was truly art that was causing the problems, there'd be a rash of train robberies because of spaghetti westerns. Like that's just a really dumb argument and stance to take.
Yeah, I don't know if it's dumb or not. I mean, I think art does reflect life. There's no question that NWA was rapping about what they saw in their neighborhoods.
Yeah.
A lot of people could say, well, it causes also for people to dislike the cops. I said, well, bad news for you, buddy. I don't mean to spring this on you. A lot of people in Oakland don't like cops.
And they have reason to.
Right, yeah. A lot of people in East LA don't like cops.
Yeah,
it's just how it rolls sometimes.
So when it's ingrained in the music and in culture, and then it gets played, repeated, and other people are singing it, don't you think that has an effect on the people's relationship towards police, even though they may have never had a negative relationship with police?
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%, without question. Without question. All right, 407-916-1041. Load them up. Let's do trivia right after this.
We have a prize. Get on board at 407-916-1041. Jim Colbert Show Trivia is brought to you by Cento Family Moving and Storage. That's CENTO moving.com.
Hi, this is Dan Patrick, and here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Warriors and Celtics prepping to face off in the finals and to meet the pressures on Boston in this series. Everybody in the Warriors already has their legacy set. For Boston, a loss in the finals could change everything. We assumed the Thunder with Durant, Westbrook, and Harden would return to the finals several times, but they never did. The same could happen to the Celtics in a very competitive Eastern Conference. I'm Colin Cowherd.
The compact GLA proves it's not the size of the SUV in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the SUV. Learn more about the nimble and ready-for-anything Mercedes-Benz vehicle at MBUSA.com. That's MBUSA.com.
Man, let me tell you something. If you need a bathroom, let me tell you, Rebath Mid-Florida, that's the company you need to tune into. One reason, the guy who owns this company is a great person. Dave Denbauer and his son, Josh, over there, just absolutely destroyed and have been for quite a while. Here's why. Because they're really good at what they do, and they offer incredibly good products for a good price. And the installation doesn't take months. Usually they're done in 4 to 6 days. And the good thing is, once you hire Rebath, you have all you need. These guys have everything. And another thing, there are people out there pretending to be Rebath. You need to pay attention. They're not going to give you the service or the quality of products you're going to get from the real deal. Double check that the people are actually affiliated with Rebath in Mid-Florida before you spend any money, because when you spend your money with Rebath, you get great products and incredible service, and you get to see that right now. Their showroom is easy to find, 436 Up and Altamont, right across from Kobe. When you walk in, you'll see some models set up. That's just to show you what they can do, that really you should log on, rebathmidfla.com. Look at those before and afters. That can happen for you in your house. Again, make your appointment today. It's rebathmidfla.com.
No matter what I get, it's 20% off every day when I spend $1 on the McDonald's app. So yesterday was my please the whole fam on the way to the game meal. Today is my finally get them to stop asking, are we there yet meal. Who knows what tomorrow will be? Maybe a delicious crispy chicken sandwich all for myself meal. Whatever it is, it's a win. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Offer valid through December 31st, 2022 at participating McDonald's. Valid once a day. Excludes tax. McD app download and registration required.
A meal at McDonald's brings my family closer together. And now that same meal helps bring other families closer together. When we order a family bundle deal that has 40 crispy chicken McNuggets and 2 large fries, McDonald's donates 50 cents to local Florida Ronald McDonald House Charities chapters, providing a home away from home so families can stay close to their child during medical care. We can also round up our order and the extra will get donated. Food, family, and helping others? What could be better? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
On the new true crime podcast Betrayal, a woman chronicles her fairy tale romance gone horribly wrong. Her husband's secret life destroyed their marriage, shook their community, and ultimately sent him to prison.
Going through Spence's emails, Snapchat, whatever I could get my hands on. Just a punch in the gut every single time.
Listen to Betrayal on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Search, browse, and email privately, all for free with the DuckDuckGo app.
When you get a call from a top NBA player who was injured in a car crash by a drunk driver and faces a career-ending injury, you know you must bring your A game. And you also feel grateful that your reputation as the world's largest injury firm, with hundreds and hundreds of verdicts and billions in recoveries for our clients, has been recognized. Results matter, reputation matters, choices matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan, or thepeople.com.
Tax problems can be extremely stressful and cause financial devastation. The tax attorneys at J. David Tax Law are right here in Orlando to be your personal advocate and resolve your IRS or state sales tax issues. J. David Tax Law focuses on your needs and case outcomes. Don't be fooled by out-of-town tax companies that focus only on signing you up without even working with an attorney. At J. David Tax Law, only highly experienced tax attorneys will represent you. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, payroll taxes, bank levies, wage garnishments, tax liens, or unfiled returns, have a face-to-face with J. David Tax Law and get the help you need. Never trust your tax situation to anyone you can't walk in and look in the eye. Call J. David Tax Law for a no-cost consultation at 407-603-3962. That's 407-603-3962. Or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or a phone call away.
You're the one who protects the flock, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hand me that nail gun.
Here you go, and here's the fries.
Lunch. Who's hungry?
You know, maybe instead of loading up a nail gun with French fries to feed the crew, we should just order lunch through Easy Cater.
Aye.
Food from all our favorite restaurants.
My bad.
On time and as ordered.
Huh. Load up the hot dogs while I think about it.
Some food just doesn't work at work, but Easy Cater just does. Food for work on time and as ordered from over 85,000 restaurants. Order 24/7 at EasyCater.com.
Local or long distance, when it's time to move, let Cento Family Moving and Storage move you. CentoMoving.com.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
I think you're right, Jim. The more I watch porn, the freakier I want to get. Big Daddy.
I don't like it when you use it like that, buddy. That's not where I want it used.
Do you get to choose?
I get to take it back. I take it back. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. I am the Jim part. That's the Deb part right there.
Hello.
Jack and Ross, they sit right over there. And Ross has your sauce jar.
All aboard. Chugga, chugga. Choo, choo.
Clickety-clack, clickety-clack.
I have a pair of tickets to see Def Leppard, Motley Crue, Poison, Joan Jett, and the Black Hearts. That's going down Sunday, June 19th at Camping World Stadium. So get your hairspray ready. That is your sauce jar, which is brought to you by
Cento Family Moving and Storage. You know, go local and support a family-owned and operated Orlando moving and storage company that can handle your move, be it local, long distance, residential, or commercial, doesn't matter. Oh, but it does matter if you mention the Jim Colbert Show, because that will get you a discount. Book them today at centomoving.com. That's CENTO moving.com. Big Daddy, back to you.
Thank you so much, Deb. Ross, who goes first today?
Let's welcome Michael.
Michael, I don't know where he is.
Biblical.
Line 2.
There, line 2. Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
Hey, buddy, want to play a little game with us?
Sure.
Let's do it then.
Do you want to play a game?
All right, Michael, we got a game here for you. Very easy. Got a question, 4 answers. One of them happens to be a lie. If you can find it, off to the sauce jar you go to see our friends Def Leppard. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. On this day in 1894, inventor and doctor John Harvey Kellogg patents the flake cereal product later to be known as Kellogg's Corn Flakes. Here are 3 fun facts about the Kellogg Company and 1 lie that gets soggy after about 5 minutes in milk. Number 1.
Still tasty.
Kellogg's Corn Flakes were invented to stop people from masturbating. Number 2, John Harvey Kellogg, who was a wellness doctor, died while giving a class on dietary nutrition at 58 years old. Number 3, Kellogg's was the very first company to advertise in New York City's Times Square. Or lastly, Kellogg's cereal was the first to offer a prize in the box, a little cartoon children's book. Which one of those is a lie?
Let's go with the last one.
No, that's true. Kellogg's cereal was the very first cereal to offer the prize in the box.
I thought for sure that was the lie.
And it was a little children's book, a little cartoon children's book called something about the Jungle Land or something like that. It was like cats and dogs that talked. Who's next, Ross?
Let's welcome Sue.
Sue, right there on line 4. Sue, how are you?
Well, hello, my friends.
Doing so well, Sue. Find this lie for me and let me send you to Def Leppard, okay?
Oh, absolutely. Pour some sugar on me.
All right, here we go.
You heard her.
Calm down. Number 1, Kellogg's Corn Flakes were invented to stop people from masturbating. Number 2, John Harvey Kellogg, who was a wellness doctor, died while giving a class on dietary nutrition at 58 years old. And lastly, Kellogg's was the very first company to advertise in New York City's Times Square.
I just watched Men Who Built America, and none of these were on there. But I'm going to go clearly with number 2.
Number 2 is the answer. You're a winner.
Yay!
There you go. He lived to 91 years old.
Did he really?
So he was on to something with the wellness thing.
Okay. Yeah, you won, Sue.
So you're a winner.
Yeah, oh my God, that's so awesome.
All right, right on. Enjoy the show.
Oh,
Make sure you
cool.
tell us all about it.
Oh,
all right?
she's going to fit right in with
yeah.
Def Leppard and Motley Crue.
She's probably
and
already there
Joan
online.
Jett.
Are you kidding? She just did a U-turn so she could get some new panties. You can't throw those old Grundies up on stage.
All right, here we go. You're right. Kellogg's
Gotta buy
Corn
them a
Flakes.
size smaller, too.
It was invented to stop people from masturbating. John Harvey Kellogg thought that sex was the worst possible thing for you as a human being. And as a rule, John Harvey Kellogg, as a 91-year-old man, never had sex.
Well, wait till he finds about his parents.
Yeah. He never had sex. He had 8 children, every one of them adopted, and he and his wife stayed in separate rooms their entire marriage.
Oh, my God.
Well, keep in mind, the Western world used to also believe that bathing was bad for you.
Right.
And I'm sure she never cheated.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, she never was frustrated.
Kellogg's was the very first company to advertise in New York's Times Square, which is kind of crazy.
I thought that was a lie.
A few other things here that you may not know about the Kellogg's company. Fascinating, by the way. Good reading.
Honey, where did all of our batteries go?
It was John's brother, Will Keith Kellogg, that actually started the company that you know today. He and his brother actually had a big falling out because the brother wanted to do what?
Have sex.
No, that's a great guess, though.
Mass produce it.
No, that was the goal from the beginning, is to make something they can mass produce.
Add sugar.
Add sugar is the answer.
Really?
Yeah, he wanted to add
Points,
sugar.
Jack.
He knew that adding sugar would make it easier to sell.
Right.
He wanted to add sugar, but this guy was a legit. Matter of fact, there's a movie called Welcome to Wellville, or The Road to Wellville, and it's about Dr. John Harvey Kellogg. I think Anthony Hopkins is in it and stars as him. But yeah, he wanted to put the sugar in there, and they actually sued each other and had a big family falling out. But the brother won and went on to make Kellogg's, as you know it, the massive company it is today. I'll tell you how massive in just a second.
And tell me, who doesn't love Frosted Flakes over those regular flakes?
This guy just hated all forms of fun.
Yeah,
Thank
he
you.
did.
If it was pleasure, he banned it.
The Apollo 11 astronauts took Kellogg's cornflakes to the moon with them.
Wow.
There you go. Kellogg's cornflakes was an accident. The doctor was actually trying to invent granola. And funny enough, he was going to call this cereal granola. Somebody had already patented the name granola, but spelled it Grunola, or granula. He changed it to granola and actually invented that as well.
Oh, damn.
The first Kellogg's box was made from recycled paper. And to this day, almost all of the boxes that you get your Kellogg's products in comes from recycled paperboard.
Oh, that's cool.
Pretty cool here. And then lastly, Kellogg's is the second biggest snack company in the world.
Wow.
Behind who?
Nabisco?
Nestle?
No, those are two unbelievable guesses. The company they're behind, really not known for snacks.
P&G?
But they own a whole bunch of snack companies, but you know them for one thing and one thing only.
Yum Brands.
Johnson & Johnson.
They just gave up the Super Bowl.
Pepsi.
PepsiCo is the largest snack brand on planet Earth.
Really?
Absolutely. They diversified.
I was going to say, they couldn't beat Coke at their game,
And matter of fact, and I believe, if I read this correctly, they just passed Kellogg's because they bought Pringles. PepsiCo owns Pringles. Potato chips?
Wow.
So I believe that's what put them over for a while. I guess Kellogg's was the number one.
Who
they
owns
own a lot of
Funyuns?
brands. I don't know. Some company that doesn't know a good product because Funyuns are terrible.
Oh, they're delicious.
What's coming up for thought? Speaking of terrible.
It's your show.
That's a very good point.
My fiance asked me to do something.
Oh, yeah. Play the music, Jack.
She was waiting.
You ain't going to Wellville, playa.
And I couldn't do it.
Oh, maybe you are.
I just couldn't do it. I looked at her, I said, no, I can't do that right now.
Hold her purse?
Oh, wow.
Clean the shed?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you after the break.
Take them boots and back in a sec.
Rub that spot.
Twitter. It's not just for dragging people. It's mostly real radio. Just for dragging people. 1041. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Heavy traffic continues westbound on I-4 between 417 and Osceola Polk Line Road. We're seeing a steady ride, too, between the Beach Line and State Road 536. Eastbound busy, too, between Universal Boulevard and the Turnpike. Watch for delays on the Turnpike, too, southbound from a crash at US 192 that's blocking the right lane. The Beach Line still in good shape. See traffic problems? Call the Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey, DQ fans, make sure to cast your vote for the official combo meal of MLB at DQ.com. With Tim Anderson's Burger and Blizzard Meal and Bryce Harper's Burger and Blizzard Meal, you just have to try both. Vote for your favorite at DQ.com. Happy tastes good.
In the next 30 seconds, 40 couples will be in baby mode. And as they're thinking about tiny shoes, shape-shifting strollers, and where to find the best schools for their kid, they'll realize
We gotta sell the house and fix it and stage it and show it.
Or they can skip the hassles and sell directly to Open Door and close in a matter of days. Get back to the things that matter, like tiny baby shoes. Get your competitive offer at opendoor.com/offer. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage Inc. License 02061130 in California and Open Door Brokerage LLC in its other markets.
Get this. Joey and me were supposed to go to this concert next week, right? But then something terrible happened. Joey was driving without a seatbelt. But he didn't wreck. No, he got pulled over. Now Joey has to pay for a seatbelt ticket instead of a concert ticket, and I have to go by myself. How lame is that? So Joey, if you're out there, you're an idiot. Wear your seatbelt or you'll get a ticket.
All across the country, cops are cracking down. Click it or ticket, day and night.
Funded by the Florida Department of Transportation.
If you've been injured on the job and are not receiving the benefits you're entitled to, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733, and take back control of your life.
Hey, Mike, what are you doing way up on that ladder? You're going to hurt yourself.
Oh, I'm trying to unclog these gutters.
That's smart. I had water damage from my gutters last year. It cost me $10,000.
Wait, $10,000?
Yeah, and from over here, it looks like water's been pouring over your clogged gutters, and it's probably doing real damage to your foundation. You need to do what I did. Get off the ladder and call Leaf Filter.
Yeah, but I need to get these gutters flowing now.
That's why you need to call Leaf Filter. They'll clean and realign your gutters and install their exclusive micro mesh screen system so nothing gets in your gutters except water.
So Leaf Filter protects my house from damage and means no more gutter cleaning for me?
Bingo! Plus, Leaf Filter has an industry-leading lifetime warranty, so your gutters are covered for life.
Thanks, Frank. I'm calling Leaf Filter today.
Don't go another day with your home unprotected. Call 1-844-300-LEAF or go to tryleaffilter.com for your free gutter inspection. Call 1-844-300-LEAF or go to tryleaffilter.com right now for an extra 15% savings. Call 1-844-300-LEAF or go to tryleaffilter.com. That's 1-844-300-LEAF.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is a firm that practices family law exclusively. We focus on only one area of the law to maximize our strength and effectiveness as advocates for clients that have everything on the line: their homes, savings, and most importantly, their children. We're the partner our clients count on.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Orlando area attorneys. Office in Orlando. Lisa Cargis, Florida resident partner. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Improve your relationship with money at regions.com/live-in-the-moment. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and this is my client, Raphael.
I had unexpected slip and fall. You were the only guys that were willing to take it. The insurance company offered me a low ball amount. I was able to secure it over 10 times that amount. If you're injured on the go, just call Mo.
Prospective client may not obtain same or similar results.
Having trouble with your AC? Call our friends at Mills Air, 407-277-1159. With 30 years of experience, they can certainly help you out. Carrier factory authorized dealers with up to $1,275 in rebates towards that brand new Carrier unit. Family owned and operated. It's millsair.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind studio. Your accident, your future, your attorney. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or call pound 546 from your cell. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. We are an iHeartRadio station. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show. Also available to watch, if you're into that kind of thing, at The Jim Colbert Show on Twitch.
Hey, love the show. Good job. Love Ross. Every time you're missing, we miss the third leg of the show. Jim, the parents have to buy those games. They're mature audience only. They have to be 18, all that. I have to do all that. When I was younger, my mom would buy those games. Everybody's parents will buy those games. They even do it now. That's the thing.
Yeah, that
parents
is
have to take a step and not let their kids play those games and watch what they're doing. Watch what they say and watch what they're doing.
I would agree with you there, buddy. My wife actually texted the entire show. I just saw that. Did you guys see the text from her?
Oh, yeah.
Said the same thing. It's like, this is a parental issue as well. Let's not forget that.
Oh, absolutely. That's a big component in the soup.
And that guy's 100% right. If you're buying a 12-year-old a game where you can execute a cop.
Yeah.
Well, I just told somebody close to me, you need to learn how to say no.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to say no. It's one of the most powerful things you'll do in your life. Learn the power of the word no.
Well,
and then learn how to defend that decision to yourself, because it can be one of the most powerful things you can say during your entire life.
Your friends are going to have, your kids hopefully are going to have a lot of friends in their life, but they're only going to have, 2 parents.
Right. All right, welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. I am Jim, Deb, and Jack are here. Let's get some Ross thoughts.
Oh, man.
It's weird.
It's going to be real.
It's funny.
I like these.
Sometimes.
These are my favorite ones, by the way.
Yeah.
It's Ross. Spelled like sauce.
I'm laughing.
You and I have a magical way of getting ourselves in a world.
Being brutally honest and falling on the sword for entertainment value. Ross Thoughts is brought to you by Mills Air. They saved my house. They can save yours. All right. So, this past Friday, I am at the Orlando Fringe Festival, one of my favorite activities and times throughout the entire year.
Matter of fact, I will tell you, I've been around you now 4 years. Every day of my life for most of my life for about 3 of those now. I don't know that you get excited about anything else like you do about the Fringe Festival.
It just means...
It is your thing.
It means so much to me that it's just this massive creativity outlet for, a lot of my friends or people who I kind of know, but then you go ahead and you spend, 10 or $15 and you get to see what they've been working on and their creativity on full display. It's just amazing. I absolutely adore it. So when the Orlando Fringe hit me up years and years ago to be like, hey, we want to do a late night talk show and we want you to interview, Fringe performers. We have a house band. You walk out, do the monologue and all that. I was beyond excited. And the 2 rules that I always had for this late night talk show, for this theater festival, was that I want it to be a party, and I also want the Fringe performers to feel like a rock star.
Okay.
I want them to feel even bigger than what they actually are. And I think every year we've accomplished that. Now, that first little ditty that I shared, said I want it to be a party. I looked at them and I said, can we sell beer in the theater? Can I drink?
Oh, yeah.
The show is at midnight.
It's a beer cart, baby.
Can we party in the theater? And they said, you know what? Sure. What I'm trying to say is that I got a little tipsy Friday night.
A little bent up?
The show's at midnight. I saw some shows prior to that. I don't know how much I drank. It wasn't a crazy amount.
But it adds up when you're just drinking and enjoying yourself. Next thing you know, you've had 4 tall boys in you.
Yeah, next thing you know, you're like, okay, I'm a little something, a little.
Yeah, it turns out 4 8%ers in 25 minutes is not good.
But I'm still good. If I'm being for real, I wrapped up the show. I hadn't had a drink in a little bit.
A couple hours?
Yeah. So I felt like I'm good. I'm good to drive. Then I got stopped. Someone...
Oh, you got pulled over?
I didn't get pulled over.
Oh, Jesus. I was going to say, buddy.
When I was walking out, a friend of mine was like, hey, you want to smoke this? And I was like, I haven't done that in a hot minute. I haven't smoked some cannabis before. I've done that back in the day. A lot.
What's next?
So let me go ahead and...
Hit this up?
Yeah, it's Fringe.
Right,
This is my favorite time of the year. Let's party up.
And you knew this person?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Halfway through it, I'm like, yo, why is this all over my hands? Because it's a moon rock joint.
Oh, that's...
Which is just basically another weed term for saying that, like, you should eat a clementine right now because it's going to taste different. I was ripped.
Yeah, because what it is, it's a joint with hash sprinkled on it, right?
It's just everything. I think it's like rolled and keef and all of this, just all weed within weed. It's an inception of weed.
What's it called again?
It's called a moon rock or a moon rock joint. So I go ahead. Now I'm in this parking lot. I've had a couple of, brews and drinks beforehand. And
a moon rock.
And then my fiance looks at me and she goes, hey, it's 2 a.m. Are you ready to go? And I just straight looked at her. I said, no. I can't. No.
Did you talk to her like that? You say nah, like
yeah,
you're talking to some surfing buddies?
I had to like tell her, softly, like, I am not driving. I'm not moving. I'm not doing anything. We might have to stay here for 2 more hours.
But you couldn't even walk to the car?
No, I was at the car. That's where this whole activity took place. But this was the first time in my life where I've ever looked at the people who I was with, and they're like, you ready to go? And I just hit the eject. I was like, no.
Did you not think you could even ride? Was everybody else also?
I have a stick shift.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
Which is essentially driving a stegosaurus
exactly.
out in public because no one knows how to drive a stick shift these days.
They do not.
No, they don't.
I'm sick and tired.
Rare breed, actually.
Do they even make them anymore?
Not very often.
This is the first time in my life where, and I had multiple people with me.
Oh, man.
And I had to look at them and go, I'm so sorry, but I'm currently thinking why hours should be 50 minutes long instead of 60 minutes long. And that is a super dumb thought, which means I shouldn't drive.
Right, yeah. You
if I'm convinced that hours should be 50 minutes long, it just makes sense. You would have 28 hours in the day, I think, if that math cracks up.
Sure.
28 divided by 7 days a week. 7 goes into 20. I've never had to do that. I've never looked at somebody and thought like, no, I'm sorry, guys. No, I'm letting you down. I am not driving that vehicle anytime soon.
So what did you guys do? Just stood there in the parking lot?
Well, throughout this whole time, I'm thinking like, well, my brother hasn't left yet, and he is unbelievably sober. He doesn't do any of those extracurricular activities. And
man, he's fun.
As I was thinking about how hours should be 50 minutes long instead of 60 minutes long, he left. Which I think the 50-minute hour thing has legs.
He just walked away.
Can you imagine 2 hours being 100 minutes?
So it was you and your brother and your fiance?
It was me, my friend, and my fiance who were at my car. The person who was like, hey, you want to smoke this? He left.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's to get you so totaled. Hey, so let me ask you, what was her response?
Oh, really? That was and then I kind of felt the pressure of like, are we really? You're that? Oh, okay. Like, and I don't want to paint her in a bad light here, but I mean, it's still bad news when your ride to a place goes like, I can't do it. I'm sorry.
I'd be pissed.
All the more reason for her to learn how to drive stick.
I would be pissed off if I was her and you couldn't drive me home because you got too hammered. You were so irresponsible. You couldn't stay sober enough to drive me home.
But now I'm being responsible.
No, it's too late. Well, it's too late. It's 2:00 in the morning.
I did the right thing.
You did do the right thing. No question there. The wrong thing you did is get so hammered when nobody else knows how to drive your vehicle that you couldn't make it home.
Hey, when a rando walks up and says, do you want to smoke this? Your first answer
it should be no.
If it's not an Uber.
Okay, rando. I kind of knew him.
What's his name?
And I know his first name.
Moon.
Don't know his last. So kind of a stranger. But I bring this up. Have you guys been in that situation?
Oh,
no, because I immediately realized that if it was 50 minutes in an hour, you'd have 28.8 hours in a day, and that's stupid.
Yeah, okay, so then I started thinking about that, too. I started thinking about that, too, because it would be 28 hours if the hour's length was still 60 minutes.
So wait, you got a moon rock, and that's what you wasted that brain power on?
I was on it.
Are you kidding me? He lost 10 minutes of his life.
4
hours.
Are
you sure it was only 10?
They should call that weed 10 minutes gone.
4 hours should be 200 minutes. And I was going to die on that hill. I was legitimately telling everybody.
Well, yeah, because you couldn't drive away from it.
Give me one good reason. Give me one good reason why hours are 60 minutes. They should be 50. We're humans. We work in, 25-year anniversaries, 50-year anniversaries, 100-year anniversaries.
Decimal time.
I'm still might be feeling it from Friday night. Because I'm still convinced that hours should be 50 minutes long.
Buddy, listen, you're going to have a bunch of people asking where this Moonrock guy is. That's what you're going to... Nobody even cares about your story now. They just want to know where the Moonrock guy is.
Oh, let's check out this texting service.
By the way, Deb, it's one word.
Have you guys ever had to look at somebody and go like, I can't, nah.
Yeah, I've done that before, for sure. I mean, I've gotten hammered to the point where I can't drive. But the good thing is, for me, is my wife usually drives me everywhere I go anyway. Like I'm Miss Daisy.
Like I felt pretty good. And then all of a sudden, McMoonrock face walks up to me, and I don't partake.
You're not blaming Moonrock guy, are you?
No, I'm blaming myself. It was absolutely my fault. I mean, I just wasn't expecting for it to. I thought I had it, but I've never been in a situation where I just quit. I quit on my team.
So what happened? Did you get the one to getting an Uber?
No,
you should be more angry with yourself.
I called a friend. And I was like, "Hey, man, you just left.
Hey, Moonrock guy, can you take me home?
Yeah, can you drop me off?" Called a friend that I knew that just left, and I was like, "I'll Venmo you or something." And by the way, do you think hours should be 15 minutes? I was convinced.
What was your fiance saying about your 50-minute hour concept?
This is dumb.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
She was trying to help you out.
And then I could not stop laughing as I was on the car ride home because I couldn't stop laughing and finding it funny that I called somebody.
Were you the only one laughing in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah. I picked up on that a little.
Oh, you love that guy, don't you?
Oh, yeah. That guy. Oh, everything funny, guys. Always the dude you want to be around.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that if you're ever caught in that situation, don't be afraid to hit the people that you're with a hard. No, I can't do it.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi's husband needed somebody to do that this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, he got a DUI.
Oh, yeah, no. I couldn't do it, didn't want to do it. I was terrified of me driving a car, and I really walked that talk by telling everybody, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, he was in Napa and got pulled over in Napa.
Oh, the wine will get you.
82 years old.
Oh.
Worth $100 million. It would have been a $35 Uber ride.
Oh, my God.
But you didn't. And that's good.
I didn't do it.
You're smarter than the man married to the Speaker of the House.
Look at that.
So, you see? You're
I'll
a winner.
take that. You know what also
Bravo.
makes me smarter than the husband of the Speaker of the House?
I bet I know.
Yeah. I went with Mills Air, and that was one of the smartest decisions I've ever had in my entire life. I'm not sure if you know this about Florida, but everyone is damp because it's hot out. And if your AC isn't working, it's time to call the best in the biz. That's Mills Air. They could not have helped me out more. My house is super old. It doesn't even have a spot for an air conditioning unit, but they still made it work. And that's exactly what 30 years of experience will get you. Mills Air is a Carrier factory authorized dealer. I love my Carrier unit and how quiet it is. Their techs can service any brand out there, so if you don't have a Carrier, don't worry. But if you do have a Carrier, turn to the experts at Carrier. Call today, schedule your appointment, 407-277-1159, or hit them up online at millsair.com. Those are your Ross thoughts. Drive safe. Don't be afraid to look at everybody and go, nope, don't have it in me tonight. I'm out. Peace.
Thank you, buddy. 407-916-1041. Back with more of the Jim Colbert Show right after this.
Get social with us. Real Radio 1041 on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Well, authorities still working to clear an accident on the turnpike. It's southbound right at US 192, blocking the right lane. Use some extra care through here. Heavy delays continue westbound on I-4 between 417 and Osceola Polk Line Road, as well as between the Beach Line and State Road 536. Eastbound busy too between Universal Boulevard and the turnpike. See traffic problems? Call the traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Dairy Queen. Hey, DQ fans, make sure to cast your vote for the official combo meal of MLB at DQ.com. With Tim Anderson's Burger and Blizzard Meal and Bryce Harper's Burger and Blizzard Meal, you just have to try both. Vote for your favorite at DQ.com. Happy tastes good.
Hey, rental property owners, we know you already do a lot of things yourself, but there are 2 things you can't do unless you hired the Realty Medics. Get real-time information on your properties and get an entire year's worth of rent up front. Yeah, only the Realty Medics offers upfront rent where you can get a year's worth paid upfront, putting $10,000 to $30,000 in your pocket fast. But not only that, only the Realty Medics has the Property Performance Dashboard where you can track showings and applications, rent payments, tenant damage estimates, and more. Even better, you can track your rental investment performance just like you would a stock. Just 2 more reasons why the Realty Medics are the highest rated and most reviewed property management company in Central Florida. And they invite you to take just 5 minutes on therealtymedics.com to see how they've made DIY landlording obsolete. And for a limited time, they'll even give you 2 months of management free when you use promo code FREE1041. That's therealtymedics.com, promo code FREE1041.
When the heat is on, Del Air can turn it off. Go to delair.com to schedule your appointment today.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Oh, hi. My AC's blowing hot air.
Voted the top HVAC company by the robots we hired to vote for us.
Yes, my air conditioner is...
For AC repair, press 1. Fine. Are you sure it's actually broken?
Well, yes, it's blowing hot.
Have you considered fixing it yourself?
No.
Could try YouTube. Might be a video about air conditioners.
No, I actually want a professional...
Saw a video yesterday with a cat on a bicycle. Hilarious.
How would that help?
Might make you feel better about the whole broken air conditioner thing.
This would never happen with Frank Gay.
But you didn't call Frank Gay.
Right, I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you have an AC problem, you need a professional solution. An expert who can diagnose your system right away and get the air blowing frosty cold again. That's the Frank Gay way.
I found it! Look at him with his little helmet. That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
Meet Allison, teammate at Truist Bank. Hi. She was born to care, and she always had your back.
You could say that.
Like that time back in the mid-'80s when she spotted Stacy Kaminsky with her new perm, and a car was coming, about to hit a puddle. So Allison jumps in front of the splash, just in time to protect Stacy's fresh curls.
Look, I had to do it. A wet perm just doesn't work.
Today, Allison's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank. Learn more at truist.com/care. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
She was just 14, an innocent girl. She was abducted from a local store. She was so violated, she will never have children. That she is me. Human trafficking is real. Please donate to thelifeboatproject.org.
Coming in at 5'3", it's #1 mom. She switched to Xfinity and got the all-new 3-for-1 bundle. Unlimited internet, streaming, and Xfinity Mobile. All for what you could pay wireless companies for just one 5G unlimited line. Boom! Shakalaka! That's why they call her the Master of Moolah, the Sultan of Savings, the Queen of Cash. And now, also with Xfinity Internet, you can get unlimited data, Wi-Fi equipment, and a free Flex 4K streaming box included with a 2-year rate guarantee and no term contract. All for just $30 per month when you add an Xfinity mobile plan at regular rates. Go to Xfinity.com/3-for-1, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit an Xfinity store today. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay. New fast internet 300 megabits per second customers only. Xfinity Mobile requires post-pay Xfinity Internet. After 24 months, regular rates apply to all services and devices.
Most politicians are just show ponies. But Wilton Simpson is a workhorse. Conservative, Republican, 5th-generation Floridian. Simpson's a lifelong farmer who shoots straight and gets things done, like educational and economic opportunity. As Florida's Senate president, Wilton Simpson worked side by side with Governor DeSantis. Simpson fought and won more rights for parents, more choices for kids, and was named champion for school choice. When some politicians wanted lockdowns that threatened our economy, our kids' educations, and our constitutional rights, Wilton Simpson led the charge to keep Florida free and open. Simpson's endorsed by Governor Ron DeSantis, 59 sheriffs, and President Donald Trump. Workhorse Wilton Simpson, the conservative who gets things done. Candidate, Florida Commissioner of Agriculture. Sponsored by Grow Florida.
All smashed up,
don't know what to do. Just call Mo so you won't be singing the blues. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 866 call Mo.
Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, sung by a non-attorney spokesperson.
Having trouble with your AC? Call our friends at Mills Air, 407-277-1159. With 30 years of experience, they can certainly help you out. Carrier factory authorized dealers with up to $1,275 in rebates towards that brand new Carrier unit. Family owned and operated, it's millsair.com.
It's summertime and you're on the move. And now you can bring your favorite radio station, just like this one, with you wherever you're going. When you download the free iHeartRadio app, have something to say, tap the talkback mic and send a voice message. You might even end up on the radio. In the mood for music? Explore thousands of playlists to match your vibe, from summer to sleep and everything in between. And listen to the most popular podcasts on the planet, all for free. And all waiting for you now on the free iHeartRadio app. iHeartRadio. Discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love.
This is the Jim Colbert Show. Also available on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Just search The Jim Colbert Show.
I just want you guys to know that I love you, and you make my evening every night when I drive home. And Deb, your laugh is just hysterical. I absolutely love it. I could have the worst day possible, but when I hear you laugh, it makes things all better. So thanks. I love you guys. Bye.
Very sweet.
We love you back.
I'm a woman's man. No time to talk. Big Daddy.
You're really leaning into that, aren't you?
Dumb. All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. I'm Jim. Another
now.
name. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well.
Yeah.
It's funny. I was kind of looking around the room for this next topic, and I don't know that anybody here has this thing. And actually, I was going to kind of bring this up for the, we were talking about the video game argument a little bit, of the influences on your life and how you kind of pay respect to those. And one thing I was going to say is earlier, we talk about all the influences and the decisions that you make, but we never really got into a lot of people follow the steps of their parents. Right? A lot of cops have kids that wind up being cops. Firemen have kids that wind up being firemen, or fire people, I should say.
Yeah.
And that happens in a lot of businesses. Howard Stern's father was a radio producer. So he was in there and enamored with the business, and of course wound up being the biggest radio personality of all time.
It's what you're exposed to.
Yeah, exactly.
My dad struggled to drive.
Well, I mean, it's funny. You didn't have a giant connection with your father because he passed when you were young, but the one thing that you enjoy a lot right now is golf, and he was a golf professional, so
that is
you that
true.
bug.
I don't think he was the one that gave it to me. It was more so my mom.
Your mom, really?
Yeah. I
But
mean, she was teaching golf lessons perpetually.
Is that how they met?
Yeah.
Okay,
My dad gave my mom a golf lesson.
Wow, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I guess they fell in love
69 later.
Yeah, on the back nine.
Hey.
And Deb, see, Jack's father passed when he was young as well, and your mom was a dance instructor. Of course, that had zero impact on your life.
Yeah, not in that sense. Well, maybe actually it did, because she ran a dancing school and so taught dance, and then they would do recitals and stuff. And because I was the only son, I was also 6 of 7, and by that time my mom was, busy, tired and working.
Right.
So it was my older sister who was she would be making the meals for us and stuff. And so I was able to get away with more because I was the only boy and my mom was worn out, right?
Right.
So, while all the other, my sisters, you have to take dance, you have to do this, I'd say, I don't want to do that. So it kind of had the opposite effect where I didn't have that influence, and I probably should have and could have.
Yeah. What did your father do?
He had several jobs. He worked for Sharp Electronics.
Okay.
He had, different.
So no one set career.
No. Different management jobs.
Got it.
Yeah.
And Deb, your dad and mom, did they have any influence on? Because I don't know that your mom has much of an artistic whim, does she?
No, but she is very creative. especially when it comes to like interior decorating and stuff like that. I'm actually not a very creative person.
Yeah. But you're a good designer. I mean, that's what you went to school for.
I went to school for graphic design, yeah. And it was just, I was finishing my second year just as the discipline was changing as one of being hand-drawn to being computer-driven.
Sure, yeah.
And computers, to me, it's too sterile of an environment for art, for me, personally.
And what did your father do?
My stepfather was a realtor.
You're a realtor, okay.
Yeah.
So and obviously you didn't follow in those footsteps.
Nope. My mother was a loan officer.
So my dad was a truck driver / construction foreman for many, many years. He owned a printing company, which I wound up purchasing from him. So there's no question that my father, his influence had an impact on me. And my mom didn't. She was a bank teller pretty much her entire life. And the reason I'm bringing this story up is there's a kind of an interesting angle to another thing that's happening right now. You guys are familiar with The Rock, right?
Yeah, yes.
Everybody knows who The Rock is, Dwayne Johnson. Well, his daughter, Simone, I guess, is going into and following the business, and she's going to go into
wrestling.
Wrestling. She's maybe already been in there. And the reason why it's such a kind of a weird story is because she chose... It's kind of weird how they say it. She didn't choose to use him as a springboard. That she's not using his name. She's not saying anything about him at all. She's just going in as, I think it's Ava, but for some reason the story is not loading right for me now, so I can't get the name. Her name is going.
She can have that intention, and I'm sure she's probably could have had an easier path, but isn't it really unavoidable? The fact that we're talking about her, we know she's the daughter of The Rock,
right?
And so do the people who would be in a position to give her the next gig.
Right. She's going in as Ava Rain.
Yeah, she just announced this on Sunday.
Right, Ava Rain, and she says, the people in that realm give her crap because she's not paying homage, I guess, to her father. Not really saying that she's like the child of or using any reference to her dad. And I thought that was the stupidest argument. Although I know a lot of people do follow in the steps of their parents and do pick up that realm. I think namely in those positions I just spoke about.
And I'm trying to remember what The Rock took from his father into his wrestling career.
Well, his father was a wrestler.
I know, but I'm saying like, and maybe that's because it wasn't his father known as Rocky.
Yeah, Rocky Paivea.
So I guess being The Rock. But, hey, aren't we always at the same time also messing with the kids of celebrities who don't want to take the time and the work to go forge their own way, and they just simply want to, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
I would be applauding her. I mean, you know how easy it would be just to jump on those coattails and ride that all the way to the box office. Maybe just lean on him for parts until she's stuck. Until she could prove that. Man, who wouldn't do that?
Well,
one of my kids wanted to go in this business.
Maybe the difference is that Charlotte Flair, right, uses her father's last name, Charlotte Flair, but you also can watch Charlotte Flair wrestle and know that she's not riding anybody's coattails.
Well, and the girl that I knew from my hometown, I did not go to school with her, but Michelle McCool, I went to school with her brothers, and her father was the football, I think it was her father or uncle, I want to make sure I'm right there, was the football coach for the high school. She's married to the Undertaker.
Yeah, a lot of wrestling history out of Palatka.
Shocker. I don't think she used that at all. I know that's it's an odd connection because it's not her mom or dad. Man, I don't know. Can I tell you? I don't know one person in my direct group of people that followed in the footsteps of their parents and had the same career as their mom or dad. Not one. Everybody else broke the mold and went somewhere else. I actually thought that one of my kids may want to be in this business in one shape or another, but not one even asked about it.
Now,
did not even care about this business.
By this business, do you mean specifically radio?
Yeah, radio, communications at all. I mean, they never even asked me, hey, Dad, what's it like to be in that business? Not even once. Mm-hmm. Never even considered it. Not even on the sales or marketing side. Never showed not even a little bit of interest. We didn't really talk about it much in the house, though. That goes back with the building the
you
wall.
kind of shielded them.
Yeah, way shielded them. I mean, they didn't really there was never there. There's no stuff in my house. In my studio, there's a few things, but even back then, it wasn't that, and that was by design.
Denzel Washington's kid, who was the lead in the movie Tenet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He's done his best to avoid it, but I agree with Jack, and I also agree with you of saying that it's inevitable if you are the daughter of The Rock and you get into wrestling, you're going to have a leg up. Because you off rip, you're going to have butts and seats to see The Rock's daughter. And then it's on you to go ahead and fulfill, a good enough product for them to keep coming back.
Well, I will tell you, it's weird, though, because when I started the show, I told you guys the hardest thing in the world is to name a show because it's impossible to come up with something that's clever that has not already been used.
But you nailed it.
And my last name is so clunky, it's even weirder that way. But just going from being called Dirty Jim, the name I had for 28 years with the Monsters, very few people who listen to the show call me Jim or Jimmy outside of the show. Almost everybody calls me that references from the Monster days who have known my voice for years. There are a number of people who listen now that never even knew about that show, me being on it. They just started listening to this show because it's on the air now. But
what always blows my mind is when athletes have multiple generations of basketball players.
Or baseball players.
Yeah, just any sport, because
Barry
sports,
Bonds?
the one thing that I think the population really loves about sports is that it's objective. You have numbers, you have stats.
It's always a true story.
It's always a true story.
Right, yeah.
So then to go ahead, sure, you have your dad's genes or your mom's genes, but then you still have to put in that immense amount of work. Think about the pressure about being LeBron's kid.
Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, I always look at that and I applaud that. That's insane to me.
I always wondered about that when it comes to, because, I remember doing an interview or hearing an interview with, and I remember it was this guy, Mike Storm. Remember Mike Storm that used to do sports here in Orlando?
Yeah.
I remember wrecking his balls on the air because he asked Dale Jr. about living up to his father's legacy or whatever. I'm like, it doesn't really work like that. Just because you have the same last name doesn't mean that, genetically you're going to be a great race car driver. Your father's a good race car driver. He's one of the best ever, if not the best ever. It doesn't mean anything that you have the last name. I thought that was the most inane question. I was like, why would you ask somebody like that? It's just the last name. I mean, you can give you pointers, but it doesn't matter. If you don't have that natural ability to just absolutely not be scared of anything, they can't really learn from that.
Well, you can. You grow up in that environment or around the track. You're going to pick up some
then why
part of your education is that way, and the other part is instruction of someone who is that good at the game. It's not just the physical ability, it's the mental acuity for it, which can be learned at a very young age if your father is who he is.
Yeah, but why isn't Jacob Dylan real famous then? There are a lot of people that have, a lot of famous songwriters and artists have kids, and you never hear about them. It doesn't pass down like that. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, you could be in the environment. I could sit my kid in that chair all day long. But it doesn't make them a radio personality. If you don't know how to emote and do the things we do, you don't know how to do that.
Did Jacob Dylan, if his father wasn't Bob Dylan, would he have had the one hit that he did?
Don't even know that. Yeah,
right?
That's a great question. Don't even know.
And when are you going to emote?
I emote. I'm loud. I've been told.
And I also see when it comes to that, I agree with Jack. Is that you still have to fulfill what the coach is asking of you, but you're also coming from a surrounding of elite performance if your parent is a professional athlete.
Right, if you can. Like, Bob Dylan can't look at Jacob Dylan at 12 years old and go, hey, you're my son, write a great song with an unforgettable melody. It doesn't work like that. You could watch him write song after song after song. You could pick some stuff up, but there is a natural ability to put melody and music together that isn't just born into you.
Yeah, but it also could have been what was Bob Dylan's education like and recreating that for his son. But there is. And just like the argument we had, earlier talking about how each person is unique, his soup is different because, the genes are different.
Yeah.
Because half might come from the dad, but then you have his maternal line. And how does that affect everything in him and how he processes?
And then you have Ziggy Marley, the son of Bob Marley, who did quite well. I mean, he's not the legend Bob Marley is, but could he even be? I mean, what do you have to do to be a bigger legend than Bob Marley?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You know, we keep talking about the kids who don't live up to
Frank Sinatra Jr.
Right, exactly. To the parents, stellar careers. To me, that's the more heartbreaking part, is to see all that talent that landed in your parent and you didn't get it.
Yeah, Michael Jordan's son played basketball right here at UCF.
Yes.
Nobody went to see him play once. Not on my show. I don't know anybody that went there specifically to see Michael Jordan's son play basketball, because he's not Michael Jordan. And he doesn't have the talent nor the drive or will to win like Michael Jordan has. He doesn't have that.
Or the God-given abilities
That's it.
of height. But there still is an advantage if you are an athlete's child, you're set up to become an athlete far more than someone just piss poor.
Yeah, no question. You could have, and again, I think Dale Jr. is a really good example, because he turned out being a great racer. But I mean, when he first started, I don't think that he had a lot of success up front. And I think everybody was kind of gunning for him as well, because there was a mark on his head. And I think that happens as well. You carry the burden of your parents at times.
Absolutely, because there was an expectation. Because of the name, he automatically had a fan base that expected him to be like his dad.
Absolutely.
So that pressure was on
Man,
him.
I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
Man, I would not want to be the kid of some crazy superstar that set a tone that I couldn't match up. I think that would be. I think it would be important for a parent in that kind of position. I know it would be maybe rare. We're naming entertainment stuff, but this could be just business leaders or small business owners. But I think it would be important for a parent to sit down and go, hey, look, a lot of very fortunate things happen for us to get to this point. You need to understand that, and have a real deal talk with the kids, to let them know this is what it took to get to this point or whatever.
My question is what do you think is more advantageous to have as a parent? So you're an athlete, your father is an athlete, or you are an entertainer and your father's an entertainer?
Man, I think that depends on what kind of entertainment it is. I think it would be like, what if your father was Richard Pryor? What if your father was Jerry Seinfeld?
Well, look at Nicole Richie.
Yeah, and Nicole Richie. His father is Lionel Richie. And she did nothing but spend money on TV.
Because a lot of entertainment is a lot about who you know, and
But there are a lot of kids that grow up in that business. Like if you look at child stars, there are a lot of the kids that grow up in that business that have no parents, or just helicopter parents, stage parents, and really they're living their lives vicariously through those kids. They're not really supporting them per se. All right, 407-916. I bet there's a lot of people who followed in the footsteps of their parents. I bet there's quite a few. Maybe a lot of kids like. With my dad, I thought it was just cool because my dad worked with big Tonka trucks in my world. It was real man out there working and pushing dirt around, doing stuff that guys do.
Growing tobacco, chewing tobacco, spitting tobacco.
Exactly, drinking whiskey. All right, 407-916-1041. Let them up. Let's do last call and get the hell out of here on a Tuesday.
Make us think or make it funny. Just make it good. Get on board now for Last Call on the Jim Colbert Show. 407-916-1041.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. Well, for the rest of this week, we'll have a pretty typical summer-like pattern with high temperatures around or just above 90 degrees. Morning lows close to 72 with a 20 to 30% chance for a late-day thundershower. Now, this weekend, tropical moisture will be surging in from the Gulf of Mexico. There's a likelihood that we'll see a tropical depression forming. It could even become a tropical storm. Regardless, heavy rain would be the main impact where it tracks, and that track is uncertain. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Discover. If you're a valued customer, you deserve a simple gesture of appreciation from your credit card company. And that's why Discover matches all of the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year. Discover. Exceptionally common sense. Learn more at discover.com/match. Limitations apply.
As the country bounces back from COVID and mask mandates are lifted, your business needs a lift too. Promote your company right here, right now. Radio ads connect with 93% of Americans every week. That's more than Google, more than Facebook, more than TV. In fact, radio reaches 20% more millennials than TV. Want more of the people you want to talk to all in one place? Visit iHeartAdvertising.com and get AM and FM working for you. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Whether you're a plumber, roofer, electrician, or carpenter, a pro's got to have the right tools. Like Lowe's Pro Business Credit Cards. The cards that have every pro's back, big or small, giving you more flexibility and more credit options. Because at Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. Take your business to the next level and apply now. Subject to credit approval. See store at Lowe's.com/credit for details. U.S. only.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. Income may be subject to state, local, or federal alternative minimum tax. When interest rates rise, prices fall. When interest rates fall, prices rise.
A few years back, I had no idea what a tax-free municipal bond was or any of the benefits it provided me as I worked towards retirement. As my work journey nears an end, I'm glad Henyon & Walsh introduced me to the idea of tax-free income. Henyon & Walsh specializes in investment-grade tax-free municipal bonds. And when I talk to the folks at Henyon & Walsh, I can be confident that they give me the kind of service I always wanted and deserve. Call Henyon & Walsh today to learn more about the benefits of municipal bonds. Call 1-800-761-9761 now, and they'll send their informative bond guide free. No obligation, no cost. Just dial 1-800-761-9761 to receive your free bond guide and learn more about how municipal bonds can serve as your cornerstone to any portfolio. Call 1-800-761-9761. Henyon & Walsh Inc., member FINRA SIPC.
Baby boomers and retirees, stop the leftist smash and grab of your retirement savings. Take action now to shield your savings from socialism and volatile markets. National talk show host and best-selling author Chuck Oliver of The Hidden Wealth Solution will teach you how to get a head start to be retirement tax smart. Imagine learning proven strategies that are saving boomers and retirees thousands in unnecessary taxes. Visit taxessaved.com. Taxessaved.com.
Do you want to sell your home fast? Then get ready to write down an important number. I'm Gabriel with Florida Cash Home Buyers, and we pay cash for houses with no commissions or fees. We buy properties in any condition or situation and can close in as little as 3 days or on your time frame. You can even get a $10,000 cash advance before the closing. Call us today for a free no-obligation offer. 407-410-9000. That's 407-410-9000.
When you owe the IRS or state sales tax and can't pay, call J. David Tax Law for effective tax help. J. David Tax Law can stop IRS or state collection actions and protect you from financial ruin. Call J. David Tax Law for a no-cost consultation at 407-603-3962. That's 407-603-3962 or at jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
People constantly ask me, how long is this crazy used car market going to last? And I think we've got 30, 60, 90 days left. But when she drops off, she's going to drop off hot and fast. So if you want to sell your ride, I'd do it now. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com. We're America's best car buyer. If we don't beat your CarMax offer, send you a check for $100. I've never seen a used car market this high. Grab it while you can.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy
Spectrum is America's leading internet provider, delivering ultra-fast gig speeds you need on the high-performance network you want. And Spectrum's advanced home Wi-Fi is security made simple, automatically blocking outside threats, along with 99.9% network reliability. So no matter what you do online, you can do it faster, safer, and more reliably with Spectrum Internet. Get 200 megabits per second for only $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com today for details. Based on internet subscribers among top internet service providers. Restrictions apply.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Tools Ace Hardware.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio, whatever, baby. Feeling loose in this last few minutes. Had a small stroke there. It's fine. Everything's good. We do have 3 lines open for last call. 407-916-1041. What you eating, dude?
Almonds.
Yeah, they have their unsalted, dry nuts over there they like to enjoy.
Jack, you still doing the unsalted now that you found the wonders of salt?
Oh, yeah. No, the almonds, I definitely go with the natural salt-free version.
It's amazing what salt does for those.
I use salt in my preparation of meals and all the
for your air fryer.
I forgot
artistry from the kitchen that I have been producing.
Man, I gotta get an air fryer.
He's a new chef named Pion Bear. Oh man, I screwed that up.
I've been banging out breakfast lately. Either the air fryer will be used for bacon, preferably thick cut, or I'll make potatoes, cut up potatoes, season them, and put them in there. And boom.
By the way, I'm out of the thick cut bacon game. I think it's overrated. Hot take.
You bought Jack thick cut bacon for his birthday.
I understand that because I know Jack is a rookie and he'd love it. You can't get it crisp enough without it turning too chewy. Because when you get it crisp, it gets hard, and then you have to chew it because it's too thick. Because you're supposed to cook pork like that over a long period of time, like it's pork belly.
Well, that would really depend on your desire for how crisp you want it.
Yeah, I want my bacon thin, and I want it crisp.
Like his women.
Exactly like my women. Thin and crusty. And my wife is crusty.
Thin, she crusty. Is not crusty.
She is a crusty old hag.
A
crusty old hag.
Thin, crusty, and it's going to ruin my heart.
All right, 3 lines open for last call. Grab one now, 407-916-1041. Remember, last call is basically you make us laugh, say something funny, call back from the show, whatever.
Dad joke,
whatever. It doesn't matter.
We'll take it all.
Something fun. Again, that's 407-916-1041. Coming up tomorrow, we have our buddy Scott Maxwell. We get to talk about the lunch we had after our Fringe experience, seeing the NaomiBradshaw.com show. Gone. After that, we went out for a couple drinks and some lunch. That was interesting. And the Maxwells don't play. When there's food on the table, you better get in there. Because the Maxwells will eat your guacamole.
It seems like everyone's over it, though.
I said, Jesus, Scott. I said, Jesus, did you just bust those up and snort them? Gee, take a break, dude. Chew. You're good. I'm not going to eat all of them. Oh, man, we went through some baskets of, oh, God, it's torn apart. And then we have Animal House. Who's in for Animal House tomorrow?
We have AJ and Amber and their exotic animal they're bringing from the zoo.
Very nice. Central Florida Zoo.
Could be Sally Mander, or it could be another animal.
If it's Sally Mander, I'm going to laugh. All right, 407-916-1041. 2 lines open now for last call. Grab those. We'll get to you guys in just a few minutes. Again, that's 407-916-1041. Jack, you have the monster hatchet throwing thing coming up this Saturday.
It is going
monster
to be
hatchet.
I'm kind of tempted, man.
Monster hatchet. Not only that, they got a really cool shirt design as well. They'll be available at the event presented by Home Loans Radio. But if you want to sign up and compete, really, you know, it's. Have you ever done it? Hatchet throwing?
I've not done it. I could throw knives, though. Back in the day, I could throw a knife.
It happens at the Axe Hole in Apopka. It's going to be this Saturday, but it's more than just the tournament. We have a live band with fire inside, pizza party, joint rolling contest, and so much more. Plus, if you enter into the hatchet tournament to try and win the belt and a hatchet from Russ, you also get a lunch from Porky's Barbecue.
Very
That
nice.
alone is
Just
worth the price of admission.
Wondering if the Moon Rock guy is going to be
I
out
know,
there
you're
for the joint rolling
I
contest.
think it's going to go with the hatchet stuff.
Get the details on our website, realradio.fm/axe.
Very nice. All right. Good luck with this, guys. Hope it's a big event. Sounds fun.
Jim's
Saturday.
getting emotional about it.
Yeah, breaking up. All right, let's get to this last call here. Hey, Amber, how you doing? Last call.
Hi, I am a long-time listener, first-time caller. It's good to talk to you guys. I have a little bit more of a risque joke than a dad joke.
Okay.
Oh.
But I think it's still, like, radio-friendly. I don't know.
Fire away.
All right. So, why does Barbie never get pregnant?
Why does Barbie never get pregnant? I do not know.
Because Ken comes in another box.
Loved it, Amber. Thank you.
And we're off. David, last call.
Oh, that hurt.
Hey, Steven Spielberg's daughter also has a film career, but you probably wouldn't recognize the titles unless you're a fan of Pick the Porn. Let's just say her version of Jaws might be different than the one we used to see.
That's a great joke,
Is
dude.
that
That's
true?
a very good. Yeah. I think she's an adult film.
No.
I think it's like I don't know if it's there's a weird connection there, but he does have a daughter that's in the adult industry. It's very odd though. There's something you should read about it, and then give a report tomorrow. John, last call.
Hey, I beat the Puzzle Master for the third time and won Paul McCartney tickets and had the best time of my life. Oh my God, it was unbelievable.
Well, that's right.
My son.
Yeah, I remember you winning. I'm glad you had a good time, buddy.
Yeah,
It was
that's
an amazing
awesome.
show.
But don't ever mention beating the Puzzle Master again.
I've only beat you 3 times.
You son of a bitch. I just told you. I just told you.
But I've only beat you 3 times.
Oh, did you not want me to say anything? Colby, last call.
Hey, guys, I just want to say I do HVAC for a living, and I drive around all day listening to all the shows on 104.1, and you guys are by far my favorite.
Cool.
Thank you, friend.
Yeah, no problem, man. And on that note, some of the stuff I see in this field, man, I'll tell you, WTF stands for What the Florida.
Yeah, trust me when I tell you, I can only
That's about
imagine. I got to tell you, thanks for your call, buddy. I got to ask Leon if I can tell a story that actually, I have to ask him tomorrow because it was unbelievable.
I bet those
like
HVAC guys have got some stories.
Listen, I bet a lot of those, like those surface stories that had just plumbers. Can you imagine what plumbers have found in people's sinks and toilets? Can you even imagine?
And then always wrapped up with the same response of, "That's not mine."
I don't know how that got there.
I don't know. I think the sink. I don't know, man.
All right, we may do that tomorrow.
Former owners are crazy, right?
I got a compliment today from the guys who are doing some work at my place saying, "Hey, man, you're really easy to get along with." I said, "Don't mess up. We'll be cool."
Right.
All right, let's get out of here.
That should be the slogan. You get that tattooed right now.
All right,
Across your forehead.
On behalf of Deb, Jack, and Ross, I am Jim. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the Monsters of the Morning. After us, Tom and Dan with the corporate time and our friends from Real Laughs. We will see you tomorrow at 3 for more of the Jim Cole